making a dent in our domestic market.
I think it'll be particularly hard because in the other markets that they've gone into domestically, they're not facing a very mature, well-run and well-supported airline like Qantas or Virgin.
SA Power Networks has raised the alarm after vandals recently targeted Stobie poles in Adelaide's north. 4 were cut through at the base, causing 3 to fall, leaving live wires on the ground. Cecilia Schutz from SA Power Networks says it could be potentially life-threatening.
Whoever's doing this is not just putting themselves at risk, but they're putting the community at risk of injury, electrocution and death ultimately. So we're really appealing for the community. Please report these incidents to Crime Stoppers.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and Crow Wayne Miller has had a test on his injured hamstring today. Next up for Adelaide is the Eagles in the West on Friday night. Port are at home to North Melbourne on Sunday. The Showdown 60 win giving the Power a big confidence boost. Well, West Coast's Harry Edwards season is over following a recommendation from the AFL concussion panel. While in the AFLW, Adelaide's Chelsea Randall has called time on her footy career amid concussion concerns. Canada is heading to the final 16 at the World Cup for the first time after eliminating South Africa 1-0. And Wimbledon is just hours away from getting underway. 4 Aussies, including Alexander Vukic, are in action on day 1. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon, pretty decent showers with us most of the Arvo, so take it easy on wet roads for the drive home. Got a smash to look out for at Alberton, Port Road near Sussex Street. Very slow for work South Road through Edwardstown and Glandore at the moment, and getting busy Anzac Highway at Ashford. Camera this afternoon, Achunga Road at Chunga, so up in the hills and a bit out of the way. Make this EOFY the best one ever with Cherry. Get $2,000 off for a $1,000 fuel card on selected models. Ends tomorrow at your Cherry dealer. T's and C's apply. See website for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers this afternoon, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 17. Wednesday showers, 17. Thursday showers and just 14. Right now it is 15 degrees on 5AA. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, a fire pit leaves a family of 4 homeless at Enfield. A 13-car pile-up on an Adelaide motorway. The drastic drop in obesity surgery thanks to weight loss drugs. Why vines are being ripped out at McLaren Vale. The new tool helping parents prevent food allergies in children. And a Crows Triple Premiership hero forced into retirement. 9 years. Your news. 9:06 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. Adelaide's only local sports show, the 5AA Sports Show.
Coming up, the fallout from Port's Showdown upset. Adelaide's Josh Worrell will join us. We speak to Robbie Cornthwaite as our Socceroos learn their fate for the round of 32, plus 5AA locker room tickets for you to win, and your calls in our Monday footy review.
Rowie and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
5AA Sports Show it is, and we need to do a roll call quickly. Sam Tugwell.
Present.
Scott Camporeale. Present. Tim Geneva. Present. Stephen Rowe. Rowe? No, not here. Oh. Absent. And I think this is why.
Port Adelaide were awful. They lost a few, Radicalea, Jack Lukosius and McKinlay. Showdown 60 Saturday night, fellas. And in the form the Crows are in, they will wallop Port. Absolutely wallop them. It'll be a 10-goal margin. They are nowhere near the Crows. The Crows are absolutely rocking and rocking. It will. You want to bet? I'm getting criticised for saying the Crows should wallop Port by at least 10 goals. And on reflection of that comment, as we get closer to the game and I look at how the teams are set up, I take that comment back of 10 goals. I wished I had said 15. Every logical football debate I have in my own head, in my own private time, going through that, Port should not get within 10 goals.
However, is that it is Showdown 60 and Timmy Geneva will get us underway here from Adelaide Oval.
5AA football thanks to the Flurio Milk Company. Showdown 60 about to begin. Ball goes up.
Proud, just spontaneously applauding. They loved it. Kick goes forward here for the Crows.
Oh, this kid again.
Through the hands there of Lai, who showed courage. Soren will go any second. And one of the greatest showdown upsets. Port Adelaide take it. And one of the great wins for Josh Carr in his early reign as power coach. Yes. What a win for the power.
Outstanding. As soon as you open your mouth, this is the shit that happens to us, mate. Do you not understand? You can't say things like that, mate. You gotta keep it down, mate.
Where is Mr. Know-it-all, Stephen Crow? Where is he, Stephen? Where are you, Stephen?
Yeah, I'm in the back stalls, cowering in the corner with my tail between my legs, buddy.
You're full of hogwash, just like your premiership favourites are, Stephen Crow.
G'day, Timmy. G'day, Rowie. Rowie, cop that. Oh, this one's for Rowie. It took out the Crow's curse, eh?
Well, here it is. Stephen not with us this week. He does have annual leave, and maybe he knew that. Maybe he knew that.
Do you reckon that's why he went that hard last week?
I reckon it was. I reckon he knew that he didn't perhaps have to. But, I think he was super confident, which a lot of people were, which is fair enough and the like. But as I was trying to explain to him, we don't know. We just got to see how they turn up. And then as it happened, Port had a lot of intensity and probably a lot to prove on the back of their poor Collingwood game. And Adelaide probably looked like they were just in a little bit of relaxed mode after 3 really good weeks.
Well, firstly, to you, Timmy, I thought you showed great restraint last week on the socials.
Oh, thank you.
I've worked with you for the last 3 years, and I know when you get a little bit like under the collar, and you do that with your mouth, you just sort of bite it, and you go, I'm not biting this, I'm not getting involved in this, and you did it very well, and you just sat back, let everyone talk, and you got the result. Well done.
And there's probably a bit in that, isn't there? I thought, I still, even prior to the game, we all sort of went around and I said, we just won't get belted. We won't get belted because we're not. We've shown we've got a game style now that doesn't allow that, which I was happy with. If that keeps you in the contest, you don't know where it could go. But it was the intensity, especially centre bounce, I think, which we'll go through in a bit more detail. But credit to Sam Daddo and Ned McHenry on the early breakfast for putting that little montage together of Rowie. We're having a bit of fun, of course, and he wouldn't mind us doing that. It was a good win. It was showdown 60. Adelaide still have a 2 lead in the head-to-head count on that, but Port got one back, and here's the acting captain, Zach Butters, and the showdown medalist.
I said to Curry after the game, it's one of the best wins I've been involved in at the footy club. So, yeah, just the young guys really stepping up tonight. Like, I thought our older guys did their bit as well, but them young boys really gave a lot of energy and fulfilled their roles in the teams very well. Like Berry, I thought Jack Whitlock's game was unreal. Probably didn't kick all the goals and do all the fancy stuff, but brought the ball to ground a lot. And then Josh Ly's development over the last little bit as well. So, yeah, the future there is good with the kids.
Yeah, there was some really good performances from the younger guys, wasn't there?
Yeah, and you need that, don't you? You need your best players in the big games. You need your best players to play well, and you also need the bottom end, not in terms of talent, but as Zach mentioned, the younger guys that haven't really experienced too much of playing in big stages to jump in and do their bit. They don't have to be outstanding, but they just need to play their role. And as you said, Whitlock, just brought the ball to ground. Josh Lai took 5 or 6 intercept marks, really important, because that was probably the focus area was could they, defend Adelaide's forward line if they had enough entries. And then Berry kicked a couple of really crucial goals, which he didn't the week before, against the
difference.
Yeah, so, and you put all that together. I just thought they just wanted it more. Yeah. And there's no stat for that. I'm big on the numbers and, whatever, and the game tells you those things, but there's no number for that.
No.
It's just pure want. How much do you really want it? And it really started with Jason Horne-Francis. That first 3 or 4 contests, he just said, I'm just going to stamp my authority on this game, and everyone else might think it might go that way, but I'm not having a bar of it. And I thought everyone just jumped on board after that.
Yes, I think he led with Zach very well in that centre square. Josh Carr, he said pretty hard to ignore the external noise prior.
I'd be lying if I said that, I guess, the external noise didn't have an influence on, I guess, your thought process, and I have no doubt the players at the same time. I think as a footy club, I don't think you can ever underestimate us as a football club. You know, we set out with, I guess, clear focus, but also what showdowns mean to us as a footy club, and we spoke about that. We spoke about that as a group, and we're not living in the past. We're respecting what our history is, and we understand how important our jumper is.
Josh Card commenting after the game in the press conference. There's one here before we go to the Matty Nix press conference. Greg says he was disappointed they didn't turn up for mods, obviously, and the mods message we had prior to the game, and a lot of the media outlets had. So he said, look, failed to embrace finals pressure. If you look at it, they've only won 2 quarters out of the 8 for the showdowns this year. So that means they've won 2 out of 16 quarters under finals-type intensity, which is an interesting point. He said, look, cheers for that. At least one member of our household was happy, Tim. That's his wife. So they're a mixed marriage. There are pros and a port. So, I do understand that. Thanks for that, Greg. But it does bring up that point that you were making post-game, that, you know, this is when you've got to lift it to that level, and the pressure. And it felt like to me that the external noise had not only got to Port in a positive way, but it probably got to Adelaide in a negative way.
Yeah, and that's the hardest bit of coaching, isn't it, Timmy? You know, like, how do you... It's easy to be the underdog, you know, in those situations, but when there's the expectation of winning or performing, that's another element altogether, and there's no science to it. Like, because you're trying to generate. Matty Nix he would have gone in knowing absolutely what they need to do, and he can only do so much. And then it comes down to the players about executing. So I wouldn't have thought that they would have gone in with anything other than what they've been really good at the previous 3 or 4 weeks. But to Port's credit, they just took all that away from them, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on the back foot, and then that little guy on the shoulder turns around and goes, oh, maybe this is not our day today. So that was the probably disappointing thing, was the fact that in a big game like that, maybe they thought it was just going to happen. But as you know, in this game, you just can't go into any game, whether you're 15th on the ladder or whether you're the first on the ladder, because we've seen it throughout the course of the year. Other than Freo, because they haven't dropped the ball at all at this stage, but you just can't go in and thinking it's just going to happen. Like, you actually need, and, you know, we'll go through a couple of numbers and I'll do some stuff, you know, maybe perhaps later in the week for the coaches stuff as well. But their pressure, Adelaide, was off. You know,
you could sense it.
So that, just a quick one. Adelaide had 7 players with no tackles. They're the number 1 tackling team in the competition in terms of efficiency, and they had 4 that had 1. So half of their team had 0 or 4 or 1 tackle. And so that's 11 players. So that
sometimes that's intent between the ears, isn't it?
A little bit of that, and their pressure was off. And then Port on the flip side, they still missed. But their intent to get at them. So they went from sort of 90 on average to 103 in that game. So their pressure was up, and their rating was 185.
Right.
So that's the only other time was that high. Guess when it was?
Showdown.
The previous showdown. So there's a little bit in that for Josh Carr and the group as well. So you can bring it. And that's a mentality. The pressure and tackling is a mentality. That's not a skill.
Get that right. Here's Matty Nix on a poor night.
Yeah, I think if we go purely numbers, we're going to go straight into stoppage. But the bigger picture, just a really poor night, about as poor as we've been, unfortunately, this year.
And he rolls through a few reasons for it.
There's a number of reasons why it was. One being our opposition. You've got to give credit where it's due. They tackled hard, they pressured, they bought a game that we've been now bringing for a month or so. So we've got a short break into a Perth trip. Do we back the trend, which has been some pretty strong form for us, or do we spend time in this? And I think the answer to that will be we'll move on pretty quickly. But right now it hurts, because that's, as I mentioned, that's as poor as we've been.
We'll have Josh Worrell on later in the show. Do you move on quickly, or do you give that a deep review?
Coach's deep review, because there's a trend out of what's happening there for mine.
Okay.
But from a player's perspective, probably 1 or 2 clips, and they need to shift their focus to really simplifying the game plan, and they'll go over and I'm sure they'll get the job done against West Coast, which is probably not what they really want. They'd probably want an arm wrestle to see if they can get back pretty quickly. But they've still got to get it done. As I said, they had an opportunity to go top 4. Now they've slipped back in the pack.
All right, we'll see what rolls out there. The Socceroos, of course, finally got an opponent. It took a long time, didn't it, Tuggers? It was changing before our eyes, but eventually landed on Egypt.
There was 8 different opponent changes on Saturday afternoon when we were watching their group go about it, but we finally landed on our opponent, and Mo Salah's part of that Egypt team, and he's no one to sneeze at.
Well, he's a great player, but under an injury cloud and may not play. He's had some scans on an ankle or something, so we'll see if that comes.
We don't know where his injury is.
With Rowie, because Rowie brought it up on the call. Was he a hamstring or something? Was it soft tissue or something? I don't know.
We've got Robbie Cornthwaite coming on. He'll give us an insight into that soon. Connor Metcalf, he's confident going in.
We've come so far. Like, I don't think anyone expected us to get out of the group. So, I mean, we're all buzzing just to have this amazing achievement and be able to be in this knockout stage. So, fully confident. And I think after our performances, I think we've got a really good shot.
3:30 a.m. Saturday morning. So, either stay up or get up early. One of the two. Your choice, which way you go there. Hey, some bit of sad news today. Chelsea Randall had to announce her retirement and on the back of the concussions, and the way she played, it was any wonder she was getting concussed, because I don't think I've seen a more courageous player in AFLW.
Well,
just amazing.
There's 10 seasons of AFLW and she won the most courageous award 6 years. And it says a lot.
Fair enough too.
Yep.
Fair enough too. So we wish her all the best and hope there's no ongoing issues for Chelsea. Yeah. So a great player, no doubt about that. Give us a call, 8223 0000. Texts are flying in. Get on the buzzer and give us your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. On the back of Showdown, and of course, our Socceroos in the World Cup this week, and so much more in sport. 8223 0000. The lines are open for you to call in, and a $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher to win on our Monday footy review with Campo and Timmy G at 19 after 4.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G track down the sporting greats of years gone by. With 5AA's Where Are They Now? Thanks to Walco. Walco are at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover.
Sick of feeling fat because of the bloated belly, gas and indigestion you get after every meal? Introducing Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic. Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic relieves bloating and indigestion. It contains 2 billion CFU of gut health probiotics combined with sweet orange, peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve flatulence. If you're fed up with bloating, gas and indigestion, try Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic today from leading pharmacies and health stores.
You can get a nice hot shower, a decent meal, and then to get your clothes washed. Do you know how good it feels just to put on clean clothes? People don't understand exactly how bad it is out there.
Step up to end homelessness by supporting Hutt Street Centre's Walk a Mile in My Boots. Register or donate today. walkamile.org.au.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Introducing Geely Mawson Lakes. Geely is the world's most exciting new automotive brand, bringing advanced technology, outstanding safety and exceptional value. And when it arrives, it matters who you buy it from. At Geely Mawson Lakes, you'll find an experienced team, the right vehicle with the right deal and advice. Backed by a trusted South Australian dealership group, we're proud to bring this new range to Adelaide's north. Geely Mawson Lakes, your new Geely destination. Just a short drive from the city.
Hey, it's Lauren from Adelaide. So your partner thinks their dishwasher stacking is superior? But who cares about the stacking when you found the Dishwasher Deal of the Year? End of financial year savings are on now at Spartan. Ovens, cooktops, range hoods, dishwashers, fridges, fridges, laundry and outdoor appliances. Thousands off, bonuses, cashbacks, extended warranties, prices that won't last long. Level up your appliance game and love how you live. Store-wide savings on now at...
Booking.com is the easiest way from counting down the minutes to flying where time doesn't matter. Go on. Book that trip. It's easy. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Yeah, so that's just because I'm so grateful to play in showdowns and for this footy club as well, to be able to play and roll out there. I know I've got some close mates who are injured and missing, and yeah, just so grateful to be out there in the biggest moment and play footy and yeah, get the win as well. So I feel like for me, it's just, yeah, if anything, just looking around and being pretty grateful for the position I'm in and being able to do what I do.
Zach Butters, the showdown medalist, second time he's won one of those, and what an outstanding game it was. Led Port Adelaide to a big win on Saturday night, and we want your calls on our Monday footy review. $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher up for grabs as Campo and Timmy G take your calls. Rowie off for the week, and we'll check your traffic and get to your call shortly.
Afternoon, got a smash look out for at Alberton at the moment. Port Road near Sussex Street, wet roads for the drive home. Very slippery conditions. Keep in mind some other works too at Globe Derby Park, Port Wakefield Road near Daniel Avenue, and getting busy for works at West Croydon too, Port Road near East Avenue. Camera, Granville Road, Banksia Park. Reduce the duration of your cold this winter. Arm yourself with Bioceuticals Arm Before Starting Protect. Available at Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. Always follow the directions for use. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Monday footy review. Give us your calls. We've got Des from Murray Bridge. G'day, Des.
G'day, boys. How you going?
Oh.
I'm just a bit disappointed. Has Rowie come out from under the doona yet or not?
No. He's got a week's annual leave, Des. Timing's impeccable.
Isn't that funny after he said that the Crows are going to win by at least 10 goals on Friday?
Yeah. He was. I must admit, he stayed fat with it all the way through to after the game. He didn't deviate from Monday through to the game. So he did. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, I think Saturday night the Crows got exposed exactly the same as they did in the finals last year.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Their pressure got them, and the midfield went missing.
Yeah.
And I just I don't know what they're going to change up to. Like Campo has been a coach, he'd have more idea, but it was alarming.
No, good call, Des. We will get on to some of those numbers because, the real big one was centre clearance, 16-6. That was nasty. So, and it was very visual on the night. So let's go to Brighton. G'day, Darren.
Yeah, g'day, boys. Just probably similar to the last guy. Midfield got exposed. Midfields win premierships. You look at Brisbane, you look at FIVEAA, that's what matters. And the Crows, Port's got a great midfield with Butters and Horn Francis, and for some reason we just let them run right, and that created a problem. I think, it doesn't seem like the Crows have a plan B. When things are going pear-shaped, you got to change things up. And it doesn't seem like we have a plan B. We don't even have a plan C or a plan D. So, Camp, I'll be interested in your thoughts. And good on you, Timmy G. You're up and about, and that's great. But surely there should be a plan B.
Yeah, and I'm not being disrespectful. The Plan B things, it's an interesting one. Like, what's Plan B? Like, Plan B is essentially, do I have the pieces or the players to move some changes around to get a different look? And I think that's what most people are alluding to, because the game style is the game style. I still think that they had opportunities to move the ball. They still kicked some goals out of their back half. They kicked 4, but that was on the back of losing clearance. So I think what people are trying to get at, Timmy, is what did they throw at the clearance game to try and arrest that momentum that Adelaide were clearly behind in. Would that be fair? That's essentially what they're talking about. So I think we discussed it at half-time a little bit around what that, because at that point in time, Peatling was going to Butters. That didn't work. Then they went Berry, Dawson and a bit of Rankin. That was the four constants that were going through there. At times, there was a little bit of Saligo, was only in there, minimal, and then Josh Rochelle went in there after half-time. And they don't, you can see from the outside, and I watched it live, why Josh isn't playing in there, because he doesn't transition, he doesn't defend. Let's cut to the chase. So that's why he's not in there. Matthew Nix is a defensive-minded coach. So until he tidies that part of his game up, I don't think he's going to go through there. So we love what he does forward. He still was able to do that. But ultimately, I think they could have pulled the lever on, let's just get... I think they could have put Curtin in there, a bigger body to try and arrest some of that. The power of Vaughan Francis and cause some issues there. That would have been the quick fix for me that I would have done probably on the day.
And Derek on the Unique Homestyle Food text wants to give his flowers to Jordan Sweet's performance, gave silver service to that midfield for Port Adelaide.
I was about to say exactly that, so thank you very much for that text. So let's go to Paracombe. G'day, Kathy.
Hi, Timmy. How you going?
All right.
Firstly, I'm sorry Rowy's not there, but again, he's run a mile. One thing they need to do is stop Rochelle blairising with the crowd. Concentrate on your game on the field and not your supporters. I didn't like the look that he did when he went over to the crowd, and then Tex went over as well. They're professional footballers. They shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I think that the engagement of a crowd can be risky, to say the least, can't it?
I was never a big one, Timmy, only because I always go by and I've said this to my boys, as soon as you stick your head up, it will get kicked off at some stage, right? And so be humble, be modest, play the game, because the game will get you. Yeah, and I've always been a believer in that, even as a coach. Like, let's just play the game. There's enough pressure on you guys as players to perform and get it done without... Now, some people thrive on that, and I think Josh, that helps him. So I'm not saying that he can't do it. But I mean, it was a pretty good goal, the one that he did that he did do, and he does do some spectacular things. But I think we probably all like to see just a little bit more workmanlike, rather than the other stuff. But on the flip side, we want characters in the game, don't we? So you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
You just don't
want
to take that risk of somebody. Perhaps getting violent because you're up in their face and they're emotionally charged and
there's plenty of guys that do it. The kick and goal and go behind.
Showdown player of all time, and he would interact with the crowd every time.
It's funny. I think when you're playing your best footy, it became white noise to me.
Yeah.
The crowd became white noise to me, so I wasn't even thinking about engaging.
Yeah.
So
we probably didn't kick too many goals from the boundary either, Timmy, did we, over the journey? So
that could have been another issue. Let's go to Warradale. G'day, Andrew.
Hey, g'day, boys. Yeah, well done to Port Adelaide on the weekend. Crow support here, but no one's spoken about it yet. But this arc, oh my God, I'm not complaining about the umpiring or anything, but it needs to be fixed. There has to be a panel. Whether they minus the art, they can still have all the cameras and check for touches and all that. Why can't a panel, obviously, they're going to be at the game, so they watch the game live, but they watch on a 10-second delay, let the goal umpire or whatever decide what he wants to call, a point or a goal, not call the umpire and suggest that it's hit the post or whatever, and just let them watch it on a 10-second delay, and then they go, nah, we've just checked that was a point or whatever. Ben Keys got the free kick, which, that was after, right, and even when Ben Keys got the free kick, you can't tell me that they didn't have time to check that the ball went over for a point first and go, no, sorry, that's a point, right? And then also the other one was how not blaming James Horn Francis for his goal that clipped the post. How confident was that goal umpire, number one, standing in the wrong position, looking at the post, and then he had the confidence second. So that was the first mistake, standing in the wrong position. The second mistake was he had the confidence to call it a goal, and then obviously it clipped the post. Why wouldn't you have said to the umpire, hey, sorry, I was in the wrong position there. Can you just check to see if that hit the point post? So I guess I'm happy with the arc, but not happy with the arc, but the arc needs to be around, but there's just got to be a better solution like a 10-second delay panel and obviously get that bit sorted and, So, yeah, well, what do you boys reckon?
Yeah, Andrew, you're onto it. I mean, I don't think anything's been fixed since the Keys incident against Sydney. I don't think anything's been fixed since that moment.
It's got worse.
It's potentially got worse. And that was such a bad miss, the one over the line. And it's a great point that Andrew makes about the positioning of the Fallen Francis goal as well, which ended up being a snickometer that took that away.
I find this amusing because Jason knew that they hit the post.
Yes.
He kicked it because we were doing the call. He said, this is not going to go through. But yet you've got a goal umpire that's, a metre away, 2 metres away, and could either hear it or, now I can understand maybe not hear it because of the crowd, but surely you're in a position to see whether it
we've got to fix this. It's not good.
Yeah, lots of stuff to take your calls on tonight. 8223 0000 is the number. Get involved with the show. $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher to give away. We'll get to the 4:30 headlines, and we're going to talk World Cup very shortly as well with Robbie Cornthwaite, but it's our Monday footy review. We'd love your calls.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the news headlines. 2 crashes on the North-South motorway this morning involving 18 cars is being dubbed a demolition derby. The state government has launched their new IVF financial support scheme, which starts Wednesday. Australia and Vanuatu have signed a watered-down security deal. And in sport, ongoing concerns regarding concussion has seen Crow Chelsea Randall announce her retirement. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Showers with us most of the afternoon. Take it easy on wet roads for the drive home. Got a breakdown at Waterloo Corner, the north-south motorway near the interchange. Car rollover at Elizabeth South, Ridley Road near Goodman Road, and a crash at Plimpton Cross Road near the railway crossing. Slow going South Road, Edwardstown, with a camera at Patunga Road at Meadows. Absolutely everything is on sale at Freedom. Save up to 60% off store-wide. Plus, take a further 10% off all sale items with free delivery. Ends Tuesday, only at Freedom. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 11 tonight, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 17. Right now, it's 14 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Tom Wren and Kate Collins.
One of the stories everyone's been following really closely is Tony Modra.
It was really great to hear from Mods. Good to hear this beautiful message that he sent through.
I'd just like to thank everybody. Enjoy the game and make sure you drive home safe.
5AA Winter Breakfast.
It's lovely to hear him, wasn't it?
So beautiful and just so Mods, isn't it? Always thinking of others.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Did you know that your Wi-Fi router could be limiting your internet speeds? Especially if it's more than 5 years old. For setup tips on how to get the best out of your NBN connection, visit nbn.com.au/check your setup.
Rundle Square is your local in the heart of the city. They have everything from lunch treats to convenient shopping, plus all those services. It's home to Romeo's Foodland, Boost Juice, Sushi Hub, KFC and McDonald's. Plus Nike's massive 3 levels, Opt Shop Optometry, Terry White Chemmart, FIVEAA and HSBC. Make the most of convenient shopping and get to know your local in the heart of the city. Rundle Square, corner of Rundle Mall and Pulteney Street.
Most South Australian business owners have just accepted that electricity is an expense they can't control. It just goes up, you absorb it, and it goes up again.
Yeah, NRG Solar thinks that's worth challenging, Timmy, simply because properly designed commercial solar and battery systems don't just reduce your power bill, it converts one of your most unpredictable operating costs into something you can actually plan around.
Yeah, look, better cash flow, predictable overheads, and a real insulation against energy prices that aren't going down. NRG Solar designs systems for SA businesses based on real energy usage, not generic quotes.
Yeah, from small commercial premises through to large industrial facilities, the conversation starts with your numbers, not theirs. Battery rebates are also available to eligible businesses right now.
Now, before your next energy bill arrives, talk to the team at NRG Solar and discover what's possible. nrgsolar.com.au.
Today we have Darcy and Daniel from Inspire Care SA. They're a
proud NDIS provider with a refreshingly different approach to NDIS support.
We don't have uniforms as such, but we want it like a couple of good mates out and just sharing an afternoon out.
And you would see the results from that.
We don't have the turnover. We don't have the disgruntlement from the client. They're not looking at the support worker with their head buried in their phone. If you're looking for support or you're looking for employment, we have the person for you. Give us a chance.
NDIS support with purpose. Get in touch with Inspire Care SA.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Bob Jane T-Mart's end of financial year Price Buster sale is now on, and the savings are huge. Get a massive 35% off selected Pirelli tyres, plus 35% off selected Kumho tyres. Buy 3 selected tyres and get the 4th tyre free. Plus get up to $200 instant cashback on selected tyres. No one beats our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Mart's, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply. Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Schaffelberg's ball into the box, headed away by Ocon. It's Eustachio! Stefan Eustachio! In stoppage time! Might well have sent Canada into the round of 16!
Massive result this morning. Canada, the first team through to the round of 16, knocking off South Africa 1-0 at the FIFA World Cup. It is our Monday footy review. We're taking your calls on anything you like. Could be Socceroos in the World Cup. It could be Showdown. 8223 0000. Josh Worrell from the Crows to join us soon. And your chance to win FIVEAA locker room tickets as well for Port Adelaide, North Melbourne this weekend. But right now, all thanks to Glimpse Home Improvements, our next guest.
Absolutely. Former Socceroo. I've seen him on Channel 7. I've seen him on the panel reviewing the FIFA. He is virtually everywhere. Robbie Cornthwaite, welcome.
G'day, boys. How are we? How are we going?
Excellent, excellent. Look, it took a while for us to get our opponent, but we finally found out that it was Egypt, and we're going to play 3:30 Saturday morning. How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy game, obviously, through to the knockout stages for the second consecutive World Cup, which is fantastic. And Egypt's a side that sort of not many of us know a hell of a lot about. Obviously, we know about Mo Salah, Omar Marmoush. A couple of injury doubts, obviously, around Salah, but they're ahead of us in the world rankings. So at this stage in the tournament, you can't take any lightly. But when it comes to the likes of Belgium, Iran, Egypt, even New Zealand, we're still in the mix on the final match day.
Yeah,
I think we're pretty happy with where it landed.
Okay, the round of 32. Do you like this new concept?
Yeah, I think it's shown that the expanded competition has worked. I think we've seen Curacao. One heavy defeat, but outside of that, we've got Cabo Verde through versus Argentina. We got 9 out of 10 African teams through to the knockout stages. It just adds so much more colour and excitement. And, I mean, the argument that some of these teams were going to come and get absolutely pumped just hasn't happened. And it's created some of the best storylines of the World Cup so far. So, as we know in football, Timmy, we saw on the weekend, you never can write off a team.
Correct, Robbie. Good observation, mate.
Oh, you're all over it, Robbie. Hey, what's been the biggest difference in this World Cup under Tony Popovich compared to previous World Cups?
Yeah, I think probably whether people will like it or not, that sort of defence-first mentality. Australia's always had its backs against the wall. Popper being a centre-back himself, I've worked closely with him in the past. He's a very defensive-minded coach, very safe, attention to detail. And with some of the attacking talent that we have at our disposal, with the likes of Yurin Kunda and Mo Toure, who we know all about from South Australia, they're the ones we want to see out there attacking and trying to score goals. But it has been that defence-first mindset. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a more cautious approach at the start of the game against Egypt. Egypt are a side that love to get numbers forward, which is great for us because we've got speed up front and we can hit them on the counter. And hopefully at some point, whether it's from the start, more likely the second half, Nesteri Irankunda can come on and do what he did in that first game. Well, we all went wild at the Lockleys, me and Campo. We're at the Lockleys in the beer garden actually there. And
he knocked me beer over.
Couple of drinks on a beautiful sunny day and turned out to be fantastic for us.
It was good. But in the 3 games, Robbie, I'm interested because we have I was telling the boys off air that we have this conversation around, in AFL, we talk about inside 50s and putting pressure on the opposition in terms of field position. Have we had the balance right in the 3 games in terms of offence and defence?
I'd say 50-50. I think certainly against Turkey, we scored sort of, our 2 goals in the World Cup, but we played probably the most defensive game that we've played, but that was what was suited for that match. And I think Tony Popovic has probably rubbed a few people a little bit the wrong way because he selects a side that he thinks for each single game, not necessarily who people think are the best players. So made 6 changes for that Paraguay game, and in the press conference they said, "Can you explain your changes to us?" And he said, "No, I can't. I'm not going to do that because every single player is important. Every single player gets to play, and depending on who we play, that's the team I'm going to pick." So I wouldn't be surprised to see more changes. That's the kind of coach he is, and he lives and dies by those decisions. But certainly, Australian fans were a little bit happier with the likes of Valpato, Metcalf, Irankunda, and Toure up front because they're offering us plenty at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, he is full of surprises, and I think he's really shocked us with some of the selections in all those 3 games leading up. This one you don't get to come back from, so you've got to get it right. What about the argument about the Matt Ryan, Patrick Beach keeper argument? How do you see that one?
It's funny because, you guys are both players. You want to know why you're not playing. And when Matt Ryan did speak and people asked him, what was the reason you're not playing? Tony Popovic told him it's gut feel, which as a player is really hard to accept. I mean, you got to say that Popper's probably got it right at the moment. Beach was absolutely outstanding in the first game. I think in terms of his rating, he's right up there as one of the best goalkeepers in the league. At the World Cup. But, you talk about experience. Do you want that experience of Matt Ryan in such a big game? And when you bring that up, that point, we know that social media can be a bit of a minefield. People are pretty quick to remind everyone that Matt Ryan made a mistake against Argentina in the last World Cup where he took a heavy touch, which allowed Argentina to score. So the argument that Matt Ryan's more experienced and he should play in the bigger games does have some merit, but when you look on the flip side, he was the one that made a mistake in the last World Cup.
There you go. So, we'll just keep backing the coach and he keeps doing the right thing. Just looking around the grounds, I'd say the Ronaldo and Messi argument just keeps going, doesn't it? Ronaldo scores in 6 World Cups, first bloke to ever do it. The 5-0 drubbing of Uzbekistan was an absolute ripper. And then Messi, wow, he just comes on for 30 minutes and kicks an unbelievable left foot goal through the gap.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, in Australia, we're sort of set up for this team-first mentality. It's all about the team, where in some of these South American nations and European nations, when you've got stars like that, it's almost all about the individual. It feels like the team's going out there to sort of help Messi break the records and do it for him rather than doing it as the collective. Ronaldo's got a lot of stick in this tournament, particularly in the first game. He looked very greedy and was sort of playing as an individual. As you say, Timmy got a couple of goals against Uzbekistan and would have loved one more because he would have reclaimed his record as the oldest ever player to score a hat-trick at the World Cup. That belongs to Messi after his 3 goals in the opening game. But as you say, yesterday he comes off the bench against Jordan in a game where really he doesn't need to play. They're already safely through. But it's almost like Argentina wanted to put him out there so that everyone who'd come to see him in Miami got to. And funnily enough, they made sure every single player from Argentina, other than the 2 goalkeepers, got to play. So in the first 3 games, all 23 outfield players for Argentina have played. So they're sharing it around. They're having barbecues every day, 500 kilos of meat they had imported from Brazil. I'm telling you, they're living their best life at the moment, and it's working.
Unreal.
Hey, Robbie, has this tournament changed the way that we're viewed around the world in terms of our soccer form or what we've got to offer?
I'm not sure about that just yet. I know people always have a bit of respect for the way Australia goes about their business in any sport, never say die attitude, 100% effort and the like. But certainly some of these players are putting their hands up for bigger moves. I think we fielded the 2nd youngest lineup and maybe the 4th and 5th youngest lineup in this World Cup. So we've got one of the youngest teams out there. You look at Geordie Boss, absolute superstar. He played on the right in that final game against Paraguay and looked a cut above. There's talks of him going to the Premier League. And Lucas Hetherington, who went to America only 6 months ago, youngest player in America to play every minute of every game, youngest player for Australia ever to start at a World Cup, 18 years old in defence, looked like he'd been playing there for 200 games. And, Barcelona, of all clubs, have submitted a bid for $25 million. That was knocked back by his club. So there's a couple of guys who are really looking at big moves, and the bigger leagues our players are in, better for our reputation, and obviously the long term, better for the Socceroos.
And as you just mentioned, it is a fairly young team. I mean, how exciting is that for the next generation coming through, perhaps into the next World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, this team, what they're doing at the moment. I mean, let's look at it with a clear lens. Like, obviously, we're so excited, but they haven't really achieved anything yet. If they beat Egypt and they get to the last 16, win their first ever knockout game at a World Cup, then I think we can get really, really excited. But this group is probably still 4-8 years away from really peaking. The names we've mentioned, Hetherington, Boss, Toure, Valpato, all these guys are 22, 20, 23 years of age. When they're 27 and 30 at the next couple of World Cups is when you really expect to see them at their peak. And then in that time, you've got the next generation of young ones coming through. So you'd hope they can kick on and go on to bigger and better things. But, 4 years and let alone 8 is a long, long time in a career, and who knows where they could be.
Beautiful stuff, Robbie. Thanks very much for that summary. And where will you be watching at 3:30 a.m. With Campo again, or?
No, I wish.
With your cream jacket on?
I'm in Sydney, so I'm not too sure at the moment. But tomorrow's a mouth-watering 3 ties: Japan versus Brazil. Wow. I mean, that feels like it could be a semi-final. Morocco versus Netherlands. They both made the quarters last time round. So there's some really, really big matchups early, and a couple of big teams are going to go out probably too soon, but that's the way the draw works, unfortunately, for them.
That's sensational, mate. Good work and good luck.
Thanks, Robbie.
That's Robbie Cornthwaite, former Socceroo, and, he's on the panel of the experts at the moment, assessing every game. Loving it.
Everywhere.
He does a very good job. Yeah. Score big savings before June 30 with 30% off blinds, shutters, curtains and awnings at Glimpse Jeps Cross. Time to get to a break, but before we go there, we would absolutely love you to get into the 5AA locker room on Sunday when Port Adelaide take on the Kangaroos, who aren't looking too shabby this year, so it should be a good game. 8223 0055 if you'd like to get along to the best seats at Adelaide Oval. Call in 8223 0055. Let's check your traffic.
At Waterloo Corner, a breakdown to look out for. The north-south motorway near the interchange. Elizabeth South, a car roll over there. Ridley Road near Goodman Road. And Plimpton, a crash to look out for. Cross Road near the railway crossing. Getting busy South Road, Edwardstown with a camera up at Tunga Road at Meadows. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial event is on now. Enjoy exceptional value on all new and demonstrated Lexus models in stock. Ends June 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Do you know what really keeps your Royal Flying Doctor Service in the air? You. Without you, the Royal Flying Doctor Service can't save lives. Without you, our remote communities would be left alone, without hope, thousands of them. From newborns to seniors, motor vehicle and farming accidents, any medical emergency, no matter where you live, work or play. For the people and the life you love, keep the Flying Doctor flying. Show your support. Donate today. Visit flyingdoctor.org.au.
I'm just popping down to the Palms. Might be something you find yourself saying more and more. Popping down for some milk. A quick workout. To get a manicure. Let's pop down for a coffee. The Palms Shopping Village is now open at Riverlea with a Coles, cafe, gym and more. Pop down, pop in, pop home. Whatever you need, pick it up at the Palms.
Go Harvey Norman. Stores open until 9 p.m. tonight. Race in for huge last chance clearance deals store-wide. TVs, fridges, vacuums, all the big brands, all on sale. Washers, dryers, ovens, cooktops, on sale. Laptops, mobiles, cameras, all the latest tech, all on sale. Mattresses, pillows, quilts and bedroom furniture, plus lounges, dining, outdoor and more. Best range, best brands, best prices. There's more in store, but hurry, last chance. Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance ends June 30. Stores open until 9 p.m. tonight. Conditions apply. Trading hours may vary.
Signs you may have big D envy. You've been invited to a mate's house to watch the footy, but you decline. Another mate's having a birthday bash. You make up an excuse not to attend. And finally, you feel like your partner is comparing what you have to what your mates have. Avoid Big D envy. Get in touch with Big Difference Home Improvements. From outdoor blinds to stunning verandas, pergolas, timber decking and carports, Big Difference Home Improvements will change your life. BigDifference.com.au.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Rowie is away for the week. He's got annual leave, and what a timely week it is for him on the back of Showdown. So Campo's sitting in for Timmy G this week, and we love your calls on our Monday footy review. Remember that $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher up for grabs, so get involved in the program, 8223 0000. But right now,
Timmy G.
let's get to the 5AA locker room, Timmy.
Certainly got the Kangaroos Port Adelaide game on Sunday. That'll be a 4:10 start, wouldn't it? And we'll be on air about 15 minutes prior to that, I think, at the end of the St Kilda game. So get on down. It's an excellent prize to be won here. And if you want tickets, go to portadelaidefc.com.au. Jake, you are first cab off the rank. We're going to ask a question. I need you to get as close as you can without going over.
All righty, boys.
Here is the question. Port Adelaide achieved a 34-point turnaround win against North Melbourne in round 8 of 2012 at Amy Stadium. It was an amazing game, and I think Paul Stewart kicked the winner. How many disposals did Daniel Pearce have for that game?
Daniel Pearce, even on baller then, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 23.
23 for Jake. Let's go, Heath.
G'day, mate. How are you?
All right, Heath. What number do you think Daniel Pearce had that day?
All right. I'm going to go 32.
32? That's correct. As in, I'm
he got your answer. I've written it down. It's not
32.
Yeah.
Right, because we had a problem last week.
We did.
Amy, Smithfield Plains. Amy, what number for you?
I'll say 30.
30. Thank you, Amy. Let's go, Sam at Woodville.
I say 19.
19. Thank you, Sam. And Ray at Semaphore Park.
I'll go for 35.
35. Thank you, Ray. Nearest the pin without going over, it was Amy with 30. Congratulations, Amy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, was that just a guess?
Yes.
Well done, Amy, because it was exactly 30.
Well done.
Oh, really?
Have you ever been into the 5AA locker room, Amy?
Yes, my husband's a big Port supporter, but I'm Crows. I've been in there.
Yeah, so you're going to let him go, or you're going to go with him?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
If he's nice to me, yeah.
If he's nice to you, well, I like that. Yeah, you've got the upper hand in this now, haven't you?
Nice to you anyway, Amy.
He should be anyway. That's true, but I think she's going to make him earn it. So good on you, Amy. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well played there. Excellent stuff.
Book tickets now, portadelaidefc.com.au until they are sold out. It's going to be a big day on Sunday for the Power.
Yep, look forward to that, no doubt. Lots of texts have been flying.
Yeah, there's a good one here. I like this one from Ken. Did you see that one?
No, fire away.
Timmy and Scott. As soon as Rowie tipped the Crows by 10 plus, I went straight to the tab. It's gamble responsibly.
Yes.
I put 50 on the Power head-to-head, got plenty back, took the wife out for dinner. Cheers, Ken.
Well done,
love
Ken.
Great bloke, Ken is. Smart.
So you should thank Rowie because he got him the money.
So it's the curse return for Rowie?
Yeah, a little bit.
The curse is back.
There was a Port supporter text saying, make him a member. He is so good motivation for us, which was very good as well. So, and Yuri says, Ro, it's not egg on face this time. It's a flock of magpies dumping on your head. Will you never learn? He says, good on you, Yuri. Good man. Let's go to Victor Harbour. G'day, Fred.
Oh, good afternoon, gentlemen. I knew at the 12-second mark that the Crows were in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Wall handballed the ball to McElhenney.
Michael Lanning. Yep, Michael
Lanning, yep. While Michael Lanning had a Port player breathing on his neck. What's going to happen? You know, every time they start this handball. What is the name of the game?
Football.
It's football. It's not handball. If they want to play handball, go and play rugby or something.
Yeah.
You know, now look, here's the stats. Handballs. Port Adelaide, 86. Crows, 135. Port Adelaide, 220 kicks. And Crows only 198 kicks. Now, look at the other big game that happened. Sydney versus Brisbane. Now, Sydney should have absolutely walked over Brisbane on that, right? So what happened? Handballs. Brisbane, 100. Sydney, 181.
Wow.
Brisbane, 185 kicks. Sydney, 185 kicks, and Brisbane, 251. So what's going to happen? Can't somebody, even the coaches, aren't they seeing what's going on with the game? As soon as you start to handball once, twice, 3 times, you've lost the ball. You might as well just hand it over to the opposition player.
Campo's probably...
Well, no, it's a good call. Normally, we know that the DNA of Adelaide is kick mark, but because Port's pressure was so good, the handball, they refer the pressure. So it went from me to Timmy to Tuggers, and that's what happened. So, and then they were good enough to turn it over Port. And then you had, Zach and Jason and those guys whipping through at ground level, and they got control of it. So, yeah, it's one of those ones that the pressure, I think, from the opposition dictates sometimes. And I watched that Brisbane game as well. The pressure, and Sydney's a bit more, that's how they want to go about it.
They won 12 games because of it.
Yeah, correct. But once again, though, does that stand up in the heat of finals? That's the question.
Okay, let's go to James at Manningham. G'day, James.
How you going, all right?
All right.
Good. I enjoyed the football on Saturday night, always a genuine contest. Something to consider is having potentially the majority of away fans sitting together in a showdown. They would choose to sit there in a large block like we see at the World Cup.
Oh, okay. Right.
So all of the Adelaide fans would be a section of red, white, and red, yellow, and blue, and then the Port fans all around them, just to create camaraderie and hence a good atmosphere.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, they do it in A-League. So there's a designated section, bay, for the away supporters.
I would have thought they would have done that anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it actually pans out. I suppose in the GA you can go anywhere,
GA I understand,
but the hill of the light, but the seated stuff.
You'd be, maybe.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, certainly when interstate teams come to Adelaide Oval, you see the areas. There's a blocked out area.
But
I
know gather round they do.
Yeah, and finals particularly. All right, great call, James. We'll keep your calls coming. $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher up for grabs tonight. James is in the running and you can be too. 8223 0000, 5 o'clock news time.
Rowie and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Harris Scarf Big Stock Take Sale is on now. Save 50% off full-price Tefal and Swiss Diamond cookware and 40 to 60% off full-price Smith & Noble air fryers. Sale ends soon. See conditions online. Harris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
Big stories, big opinions. If it's world football, it's covered in TalkSport's World Cup Shootout. Listen on the 5AA Player app.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Now, without doubt, the biggest contributor to the swear jar at Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens is David Cox himself, the boss. Coxie swears that you can rely on the integrity and expertise of his dedicated team for your kitchen or bathroom renovation.
Yeah, but there's a new contributor, Timmy, to the swear jar, and his name is Mark the Tiler. Mark swears to greet you with a smile and be millimetre perfect with his tiling.
And Renette, a designer of 20 years with Urban, swears to listen to all your ideas and she'll help create a functional space just for you. And Rick the plumber, what a legend, he will clean up after himself every single time. What a guy.
Yeah, for a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Bio-Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation expert.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 11 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. It's been a shocking Monday on our roads with a number of serious crashes. 2 on the north-south motorway involving 18 cars. It's being dubbed a demolition derby. 5 vehicles were involved in a smash at Globe Derby Park around 7 a.m. No injuries were reported. A short distance away at Dry Creek, a larger crash involving 13 vehicles occurred in the southbound lanes. 10 required towing. 1 person sustained minor injuries. A helping hand financially for South Australians using IVF. A rebate will kick in from the start of the new financial year. There's $250 for pre-IVF testing and a $2,000 rebate for up to 2 treatment cycles. Premier Peter Malinauskas says it goes further than what is currently on offer interstate.
South Australia on Wednesday becomes the state with the most generous and most accessible financial rebate for IVF in the country.
SA Power Network says recent vandalism of Stobie poles could be life or death. 4 north of Adelaide were cut through at the base, 3 fell, leaving live wires exposed. Cecilia Schutz from SA Power Networks says the consequences could be deadly.
These are not just simple acts of vandalism. These are acts which carry the potential to cause injury, electrocution and death to the many pedestrians or young people undertaking recreation activities in proximity to this infrastructure.
Australian counter-terrorism laws used to restrict suspected extremists are due to expire at the end of the year. Control orders were introduced in 2005 after the London bombings, and their use has been extended 5 times. The coalition is accusing Labor of dropping the ball with the laws. The government says they're being reviewed. The Royal Commission into Anti-Semitism has heard people used social media to accuse a man of faking his injuries in the Bondi terror attack. Arsen Ostrovsky telling the inquiry he was being prepped for surgery when his phone lit up with notifications from his social media accounts. The Jewish Australian says people accused him of being a trauma tourist and a false flag actor. Australia and Vanuatu have signed a $500 million security treaty following months of negotiations. More from Nelson Scott.
Last year, the Prime Minister flew to Port Vila to sign a security pact, only for it to fall apart on the day of his arrival. 10 months later, Anthony Albanese has inked a watered-down version of the Nakamal Agreement alongside his Vanuatu counterpart in Canberra. The treaty cements Australia as the Pacific nation's primary policing partner and bans foreign defence bases in the country, amid an ongoing battle for influence with China. Mr Albanese claims it will make the Pacific safer.
We want a resilient, sovereign and connected region.
Vanuatu PM Jotham Napat says the deal deepens an already strong bond.
To strengthen the partnership between our 2 countries.
Australia is expected to sign a similar agreement with Fiji next month.
And Robbie Williams will perform at the World Cup final. Madonna and Shakira are also locked in for the game in New Jersey on July 19. Now turning to 5AA sport, and issues related to concussion have seen Crow Chelsea Randall announce her retirement from AFLW. The 35-year-old played 80 games after making her debut in the club's historic first game in 2017. But the risks are now too great.
Wore a helmet and was building some great confidence up and, feeling great. But unfortunately, I couldn't ignore the evidence where my body and brain could no longer withstand some small bumps like that.
Brisbane's Ty Gallop is the AFL Rising Star nominee for round 16. It follows his performance in the Lions' 43-point win against the Swans at the Gabba. Canada has advanced to the last 16 at the World Cup, the co-host beating South Africa 1-0 in Los Angeles. Wimbledon gets underway tonight with 4 Australians beginning their singles campaigns: Alexander Vukic, Adam Walton, Rinky Hijikata and Daria Kastkina. And English captain Ben Stokes is retiring from Test cricket, saying he's lost the fight. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Croydon, a nasty crash causing really big delays. It's on the north-south motorway near the Hawker Street overpass, very slow going city-bound. Elizabeth South, a car rollover, Ridley Road near Goodman Road, and a crash causing big delays at Plinton at the moment, Cross Road near the railway crossing. Weather not helping tonight too, with a lot of showers and wet roads for the drive home. Do take it easy with the camera Grenfell Road, Banksia Park. Rush into Chemist Warehouse now for a huge end of financial year sale on all your favourite big brand fragrances. Sale in June 30th, so head in today and save. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 11 tonight, a shower or two for you Tuesday 17, Wednesday showers 17, Thursday showers 14. Right now it is 14 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Rackless. Tonight a fire pit leaves a family of 4 homeless at Enfield. A 13-car pile-up on an Adelaide motorway. The drastic drop in obesity surgery thanks to weight loss drugs. Why vines are being ripped out at McLaren Vale. The new tool helping parents prevent food allergies in children. And a Crows Triple Premiership hero forced into retirement. 9 years. Your news. 9th at 6 on 9 and on 9 now.
Do you know someone living with depression? You have the power to support them by joining a clinical trial. CMAX is seeking healthy volunteers aged 18 to 55 to help investigate a new potential treatment for major depressive disorder. Eligible participants will spend 4 nights at CMAX in Adelaide CBD and get paid for their time. Your contribution to this valuable medical research could lead to improved treatments for depression in the future. Interested? Apply today at cmax.com.au.
You had a dream. Life happened. You parked it. Well, the dream is back. The Honda Prelude returns, reimagined for right now, for everyone who never stopped dreaming. See the icon for yourself at Formula Honda Glen Osmond or Modbury. The Prelude is reborn with hybrid efficiency, intuitive tech and instant torque. Welcome back, Prelude. Visit Formula Honda at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury and book a test drive today.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Toop and Toop has been named Australia's #1 large residential agency of the year at the Real Estate Institute of Australia National Awards. It's a proud moment and a reflection of more than 40 years helping South Australians buy and sell property with trusted advice, strategic expertise and exceptional results. As a family-owned agency, we're incredibly grateful to our clients and community for placing their trust in Toop and Toop since 1985. To learn more, visit toop.com.au.
The Snooze End of Financial Year sale is on now. Save up to 50% off selected mattresses, including Sealy, Madison and Tempur, and up to 40% off selected bed frames. Hurry, sale ends Sunday. Exclusions, T's and C's apply.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. Adelaide's only local sports show. The 5AA Sports Show.
Still to come, Adelaide Crow Josh Worrell following their crushing showdown defeat. Fitness expert Andrew Russell discussing the limits of AFL contact training, plus Thunderbird Grand Finalist Georgie Hodges, and all your calls in our Monday footy review.
Rowie and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
At 9 after 5, we are taking your calls on 8223 0000. $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher up for grabs with Campo sitting in for Rowie, who's got the week off, alongside Timmy G. 8223 0000. Those lines are open. Just before we get to them, though, some news.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, look, Mitch Hinge, rotten injury run continues with the Crows defender suffering another hamstring strain in the sample showdown on Saturday. It was funny, I was doing the game on the weekend and I looked down to the bench and I saw him there and I thought, I wonder if they're managing him, you know, just his minutes coming back and the like, and Crows were in control in the sample game. So I thought, and then unfortunately he's done a hammy. So that's really sad. It was his first game back from that ankle problem, and it follows a significant hamstring issue sustained in April. So the strain is at the lower end, but regardless, just sets him back. Wayne Miller looks like missing a second straight game with his minor hamstring. But the club does expect Isaac Rankin to face the Eagles this week after his ankle and knee scare on the weekend. So not great result there.
Campo, do you reckon the Crows miss Wayne Miller down back on the weekend? How integral is he?
Yeah. No, well, he's in all-Australian form, so they're not not easy to replace. I mean, they replaced him with Isaac Cumming, who looked all at sea, to be honest. Like, he's missed a bit of footy himself. And I keep saying it, the game stops for no one. Like, very difficult to play catch-up, during the season when you have those, 3 or 4 weekers, and then you go again, it's another 3 or 4 weeks, and you can never just quite get them right. So, and I thought he got a little bit exposed, cross half-back, but, his his kicking in his overlap is what he's been, and he defends as well. So he does a lot of those things. So I think if he's with any doubt, West Coast, once again, let's not underestimate, but he's going to be pretty pivotal, I would have thought, in September.
Footy Review Monday. Dirk just says, turn it up, Timmy. I haven't heard this much head wobble since you tripped over a nut at Royal Regency. Jeez, Dirk, I played terrible last week. Let's go to Headley Beach. G'day, Graham.
Hey, boys. 3 quick points.
Yep.
That's okay.
Go for it.
First one is Stephen Rowe. Look, I love him to death. He can sled just as much as he wants. I hope next showdown he does exactly the same thing, because it's helpful. It's not destructive to us. I mean, it was the first time I saw the old Port Magpies come out. I don't know what they had on their locker room doors. I know Miss Georgiada said there had been a lot of negativity towards them in that particular game, and they did use it as ammunition. So the more ammunition we got, way better. So, Stephen, keep doing it, please. Second point is, Timmy, you commentate on the SAFL, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is it sad for you to see the Port Magpies colours basically getting flogged every week?
Yeah, it is. And I got to say, Graham, I'm an advocate for not wearing that Guernsey in the SNFL. I would like them to wear a power Guernsey.
I
because
absolutely agree with you.
We've got to accept what it is now, Graham. It is the list that's not getting a game in the AFL side, so we've got to accept that that's what it is, and I think move away from that. And,
okay.
And I love the Guernsey coming out, in that showdown game, and if there was one other game that they were able to wear it, I'd be over the moon, and I love that heritage. But
just on the third point, Zach Butters and his performance on the weekend, and I refer this to the Crow supporters, if you like. I think we all know Zach's leaving, no question. He won't be at Port Adelaide next year. But remember when Patrick Dangerfield left the Crows and everyone at the Crows knew he was leaving?
Mm-hmm.
What a season he put in that last season.
Yep,
he never stopped. He was like a machine. And Zach's doing exactly the same thing. He's not going to go down like, I'll just cruise through for the next few rounds because I don't know where I'm going. He's putting in. And so I hope that when he does leave, no Port supporter ever boos that bloke.
No, I'm with you there. I think no harm in that, Dave. But Graham, but I'm actually hanging on until I know for 100% certain. I'm
going to be rattling the tin?
I'm going to live in the world. Do you remember when Port Adelaide came into the AFL? They were after Chris Grant at the Bulldogs, and the kid gave him 20 cents.
Yep.
And he said it really affected his decision-making, and he stayed. Well, Zach, I'll be down there tomorrow to give you a 2-bob piece, mate. There you go.
I'll tell you what, though, Timmy, let's not brush over that. That's a big statement from an absolute and he won't admit it, but an absolute icon of the Port Adelaide Magpies Footy Club, to say that you don't want them to wear, and I understand your reasoning, and I totally understand, but that would mean that Guernsey is now defunct.
Almost,
because,
almost.
That's a massive...
That's why it's more important to bring it back when you can, once or twice a year. The reason I say that is because that Guernsey is what Voss wrote the Creed about, and that's all about winning. What happens in that is they're developing. They're not playing at times.
I totally get it.
They're doing things that aren't 100% behind winning.
Yep.
And
I
that's
totally
what
understand
and that's what the jumper stands for.
No,
so,
I get it. It's just from an absolute legend of the footy club to actually, I guess, relent and say, yep, that's what it is now. That's a massive call.
Oh, I've told the CEO that.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. Let's go to West Croydon. G'day, John.
Hey, fellas, how you going?
Good.
Just a few things. Your first caller after the game I thought had it right. He's questioning the coaching panel, and I think he's right questioning the coaching panel. But again, we've seen the same movie with the same ending, and you really got to congratulate Matthew Nicks because his whatever his pre-game talk was, his game plan and strategy, he's somehow managed to render most of his team ineffective and limp for a showdown. That was disgraceful. And nothing's changed, Campo. Nothing's changed from the back half of last year. We can have these odd wins against some of the decent teams and we'll beat up the bottom teams. But realistically, nothing's changed. And I'll say this. If Matthew Nicks coaches in 2027, this list will be wasted. Absolutely wasted. And we got the same problems happening, and yet we keep players like Draper, Edwards, Dowling rotting in the SANFL. If anyone thinks that Matthew Nicks is taking this club somewhere, they got rocks in their head. With all respect, he's not doing anything, and it's time to cut the mustard and start looking elsewhere. This is not happening with Matthew, and I'm sick of listening to the same stuff and watching the same movie play out when the game is on the line for really important games, and especially for a showdown. And we watched it in the finals last year, and nothing has changed, and we think it's going to change. It's a joke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's your opinion, John. Ultimately, what's he got to... I guess my question is back to you, John. I mean, what's levers has he got to pull? Draper's been injured, so if we're talking about the midfield and that's not been able to good, you can't... I don't think you could fault the forward line in terms of what they've been able to produce, through the last 18 months. That's been pretty solid, and they rely heavily on that midfield group. I think the back six has been rock solid and kept them in the majority of the games. But it's that midfield group that seems to be the inconsistency of when, and we all know, Timmy, we talk about all the time about best midfield wins. Mm. Do they have enough top-end talent? And is that the difference in them getting to the next level?
All right.
We'll discuss this after.
We certainly will. Josh Worrell from the Crows is going to join us on the other side of this break as well as part of our Monday footy review. Call in 8223 0000. Here's traffic.
Multi-car crash causing really big delays at the moment at Croydon, North-South motorway to the Hawker Street overpass. Really big delays inbound. Car roll over at Elizabeth South, Ridley Road to Goodman Road, and another crash at Plimpton to look out for, Cross Road near the railway crossing. Busy South Road, Edwardstown with the camera, Bicentennial Drive at Golden Grove. Fantastic Furniture's biggest end of financial year sale just got better. Take a further 10% off hundreds of selected products. Shop in store or online at Fantastic Furniture. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. Get out of bed with Ned and Sam. That's 5AA Early Breakfast, live from 5 with Ned McHenry and Sam Dado. Thanks to Peppers, SA-developed truck strength cleaning products, keeping your logistics fleet clean. Search Peppers Truck Strength.
Go Harvey Norman. Stores open until 9 p.m. tonight. Race in for huge last chance clearance deals store-wide. TVs, fridges, vacuums, all the big brands, all on sale. Washers, dryers, ovens, cooktops, on sale. Laptops, mobiles, cameras, all the latest tech, all on sale. Mattresses, pillows, quilts and bedroom furniture, plus lounges, dining, outdoor and more. Best range, best brands, best prices. There's more in store, but hurry, last chance. Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance ends June 30. Stores open until 9 p.m. tonight. Conditions apply. Trading hours may vary.
Hi, I'm Steve from Walco Liners and Covers out of Paraka. We're a manufacturing business. We've had a massive impact on the recall of our brand. From AA, we always vet the phone calls coming in and have asked where they've been sourced, and AA is a very strong part of what we get on the phone. We've had people who've loved the ads. We've also had people that hate the ads because of their irreverence and annoying nature and have still said, look, your ad annoys me and I'm coming here under duress, but I'm still going to buy your product. So it's cut through. It definitely has worked. But yeah, it's since we started in 16, we've exploded locally.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
Introducing Geely Mawson Lakes. Geely is the world's most exciting new automotive brand, bringing advanced technology, outstanding safety and exceptional value. And when it arrives, it matters who you buy it from. At Geely Mawson Lakes, you'll find an experienced team, the right vehicle with the right deal and advice. Backed by a trusted South Australian dealership group, we're proud to bring this new range to Adelaide's north. Geely Mawson Lakes, your new Geely destination, just a short drive from the city.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life.
Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Some swear jars collect coins, but at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, their swear jar collects promises.
Hi, I'm Renette, a designer. I swear to listen to your ideas and help create a functional space for you.
Hi, I'm Rick the plumber. I swear to always be on time and clean up after myself.
I'm Laura. I swear to help bring your thoughts and design ideas to life, just how you envisioned them, or better.
For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Kids Footy Month, thanks to Coles. Round 16 to 19 of the 2026 Toyota AFL Premiership season. Bring the kids for free. With huge marks and kicks, there's so much to see. Get in on it at kidsfootymonth.afl. Terms and conditions apply.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Campo sitting in for Rowie this week. It is our Monday footy review and lots to review from Showdown on Saturday night. You can have your say, 8223 0000. Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, build with Sterling Homes.
Absolutely. Showdown. This man had 21 disposals for the Adelaide Crows in the 26-point loss to Port Adelaide. Josh Worrell joins us. Josh, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
After 3 really good weeks, this one, it was really off of the radar of what you were developing to. Is there any sort of explanation you've been able to come up with?
No singular explanation. I think we were pretty disappointed with our performance. I mean, we weren't able to have our contest at a level all day. And, I think that's just we were consistently losing contests, and then, they were able to pile on a few goals on us.
I've seen it happen in showdowns before, and, you guys have come out and absolutely, ramped up that intensity, and you go, well, this looks like we might be in trouble tonight. It looked like that had reversed at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it did feel like that, definitely down back. I mean, credit to Port, they brought the pressure and brought the heat, and then, they had a lot of forward half footy, and we're just able to pile on some quick goals and, kind of put us on the back foot. And then, like you said, we weren't able to wrestle back momentum at really any stage of the game.
And we heard Matty Nix, Josh, talk about you got a quick turnaround heading over to Perth. Have you done a review and what did that look like? Or was it more, let's just move on to the next game and put that as a mulligan?
Yeah, a little review. Didn't look into it too much. I think just we looked at sort of our contest and just losing losing a contest in the forward line and then letting it get all the way down to the back line and then being able to kick a goal. So I think that was our main focus. But, 6-day break, so it's a good opportunity to kind of just, park it and get on with it. And, big challenge going over to Perth this week.
And you're probably at the end of what happened through there. Your centre bounce has been a bit of an issue for majority of the year, but the last 2 weeks you've been exposed, 6-16 through there. 1, you lose field position, but 2, then you have to try and counter-attack, through a lot of density and a long way from your goals. Was that covered off?
No, not specifically. I mean, obviously it's such a big part of the game, CB, but, I think you can only sort of... When you're in there and the midfielders, it's its own game when you're for the midfielders, and I think they've been working on it really hard, and hopefully they'll be able to get it going our way this week.
And we interviewed Darcy Fogarty after the game. We said, did you just, from a Port perspective, they obviously heard a little bit around, that there were no chance. Does the subconscious come in a little bit around, geez, we should just get this one done?
I don't think it comes into play that much. I mean, every game's big for us, and we know how important it is in terms of getting a decent position on the ladder. So I wouldn't say we just came in and thought it was going to happen. I think credit to Port, they brought the pressure, and obviously we just weren't able to match it. I don't think we read too much into upset outside our 4 walls.
Were Port trying to make sure you didn't have too much room to intercept and the like? What were they? Was the tactic there? Was it Visentini that came to you?
I don't think it was necessarily a thing. I think me and Keeney, our games are built off intercept, and I feel like we build some of our ball movement, and we probably weren't able to get that sort of game going on the night, and it kind of hurt us, I think, in terms of hurt the team.
The centre clearance was 16-6. That makes it very difficult for you guys, that coming out so quickly and the like. I'm just wondering, back when I played, I had a fullback who was the vice-captain, Roger Delaney. He used to run up to the middle and go absolutely ballistic at me and say, you get this out of there.
Ben Rutten used to do the same when I was coaching.
Yeah.
And he used to come up to the back of the square and he'd give Scotty Thompson an almighty spray if it was more than two.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering whether you guys have a signal or something that you do when it's coming out a bit easy out the middle.
I don't know how good I'd be going at spraying Dorf, considering he's their best player by a country mile. But, it's unfortunate, and I just think we had an off night in a lot of areas, and that was one of them.
The other thing too, Josh, I think we've seen from Port Adelaide, and you're obviously focusing on your team, but Port Adelaide's ability to control the ball when kick mark. They had 17 marks inside forward 50. That would have been probably the worst result for you guys for the majority of the year.
Yeah. We was a focus of ours coming in to try and nullify their short kicks, and we knew they were going to do it, and I don't think we were able to kind of get on top of that, and then from that they were able to control the game, and like you said, hit those inside 50 kicks, and hurts us definitely down back.
And if we've had a few negatives, mate, so positive. Good to see Darcy Fogarty hit some form. He was really good. Called that game last week against Melbourne. I thought he was not far off, and then kicked a bag of 5. He was a highlight. Yeah,
it's amazing. I mean, we know how much talent Fog's got, and when he can get the ball in his hands, he does some special things, and we obviously know how good of a set shot he is. So hopefully he can continue it on for a little while.
And we've just had a little bit of news that a fellow counterpart in Mitch Hinge has strained his hamstring again. That's a bit of a blow.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. I mean, he seems to not be able to get out there at the moment, a few injuries, but I think it's just a low-grade hammy, so hopefully only a couple of weeks.
And Wayne will probably miss one more?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
Yeah, they just released it on...
We won't get you in trouble, Josh.
No, we won't get you in trouble, Josh.
I think it's over. I'm not 100% sure.
Just, when a situation like this happens and then you are playing an away game like Perth, it's probably a good thing, isn't it, timing-wise, to get that away trip, a bit of camaraderie,
bit of table tennis.
Yeah, work it out between each other and go, okay, we won't get that wrong again.
Yeah, well, we're heading over on Wednesday, so you just getting out of here and then spend some good time together. I mean, we're all one big family, so and then hopefully to get a win on the road would be really good for us, and sort of we can build back into the season.
And as far as managing players and like, and I know some of them haven't got a choice because they're injured, but Taylor Walker, does he make a Perth trip, or is this one that they sort of manage him with?
You're asking the wrong bloke. I assume he'd make the trip over. I think he's such a quality player for us, and I think at a time like this we probably need him down in our forward line.
Is he any good at table tennis?
He is a big fella. He's actually not too bad at FIFA as well.
Josh. He thinks he is.
Campo reckons he's got him covered. Hey, Josh, all the best in the bounce back. You got the West Coast over there, and hopefully on Friday night you can get the 4 points.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
That's Josh Worrell, defender for Adelaide. 21 disposals. Certainly wasn't their worst player on the night.
Yeah, he's interesting, isn't it? That conversation you had said with Rog Delaney. But Ben Rutten, he was a beauty. And he used to come and goes, are you okay with that? I said, absolutely.
Yes.
Because you're the one that's going to pay for it. And the boys at the midfield blokes. So you think of Sloane, Dangerfield, Thompson, Richard Douglas, Sam Jacobs. They had great pride. Midfield. Well, they were great pride in what they were doing. And they knew, but there was nothing better than, a senior player in Ben Rutten. He'd come back up the square and he'd give them both barrels.
Because it was... our rule was 2 as well.
Yeah.
Any more than 2, you had to lock down and the like, but he would have been up there in a heartbeat going ballistic.
And Truck had one of those big, deep voice, those big, you could hear it from the grandstand.
The big B double.
5:30 headlines coming up, whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square. Build with Sterling Homes.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the news headlines. The federal government has introduced legislation to increase the fines for organisations that defy social media laws to $99 million. Australian counter-terrorism laws used to restrict suspected extremists are due to expire at the end of the year. Rescuers in Venezuela are listening for signs of life in the rubble in a last-ditch effort to find survivors. And in sport, Chromich Hinge is on the injury list again, suffering a hamstring strain in the Sandford showdown. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Evening there, stonking delays with a nasty crash according to the moment. It's on the north-south motorway near the Hawker Street overpass, very slow going in all directions there. Another crash at Darlington to look out for, Southern Expressway near the Seacombe Road overpass, and heavy rain rolling through the area. Take it easy on wet roads to the drive home. Dry July starts this Wednesday. Go alcohol-free for 31 days this July and raise funds for cancer support. Do good, feel good. Sign up now at dryjuly.com. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 11 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. Right now it is 14 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Tom Wren and Kate Collins.
There has been a world record achieved over the weekend.
This is so much fun. People gathered at Piccadilly on Saturday to break a world record marshmallow roast.
5AA Winter Breakfast.
1,719 people simultaneously roasting marshmallows, convincingly setting a new world record.
A delicious record to have.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810. Red Spot.
Mid-year sales are now on at Jeps Cross Home HQ. It's South Australia's biggest homemaker centre with over 50 stores. From Dreamland, Nick Scarley, Barbecues Galore, JB Hi-Fi, Spotlight, Fantastic Furniture, Sleepy's, Beds and Dreams, Solomon's Flooring, Our Furniture Warehouse, Jeps Cross Floor World and SA Lounge Suites. You'll find everything your home needs and more. See individual retailers for more. Jeps Cross Home HQ, where it all comes together. jepsxhomehq.com.au.
What happens after Happily Ever After? This August, step into Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine's 3-time Tony Award-winning musical, Into the Woods. Fairy tales come to life with Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, Rapunzel, and a baker on a quest that changes everything. Starring 4-time Logie Award winner, acclaimed actor and singer Hugh Sheridan. Experience music, magic and mystery. Playing August 22nd to 29 at Her Majesty's Theatre for 4 shows only. Book now through State Opera South Australia.
Audio. It's more powerful than you think. What you hear can take you far from here. It can move you to dance, to run, to tears. It's all in your ears. For advertising with real power, start with commercial radio and audio, where brands are heard. CRA.au.
You might not see poverty, but it follows 8-year-old Max to school every day. Despite his hard work and the support of teachers, living in poverty is holding Max back, impacting his reading and his maths. Imagine trying your best, but it just doesn't feel enough. We can't let this happen. You can help Australian children like Max get the extra learning support they need. Donate to the Smith family today.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
From a ruck point of view, they were very strong tonight. Sweetie was very good, and then on the ground they just seemed to have a little bit more speed and power than we did tonight. Can be off 1 or 2% in this game and be made to look pretty average. Unfortunately, we were that tonight. So an area that we've been able to get games on our terms this year at times. So yeah, without diving into too much of it, just opposition were too good for us.
Matthew Nix at 25 to 6, our Monday footy review. Campo with Timmy G, Rowie off for the week. Lots of feedback on the unique homestyle foods text line for Rowie this week, as you'd expect. We love your showdown calls. A $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher up for grabs, 8223 0000. But right now, for Parentfield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits, life's better with your pals. An interesting guest next.
Yeah, well, the AFL has mandated contact limits at all training from 2027 onwards to protect the head from concussion. A man that's been in the high-performance game for all his life, just about it, and he's appeared at Essendon, Port Adelaide, Hawks, Carlton and premierships galore. Andrew Russell joins us. G'day, Rusty. How are you, mate?
Yeah, Timmy, Campo, how are you? Has everyone come down off the high of the showdown yet?
Oh, Timmy's up and about. Rowie's not.
Yeah, well, I'm behaving, though, Andrew. I'm behaving.
There's a lot of head wobble in here, Russ.
Yeah, apparently I've been accused of.
It's an emotional game.
It's a massive one, isn't it? You would have been involved in quite a few, and some of the ones back in the day when there was a few crunches going on too. Maybe a bit of concussion going on, Andrew, back in those days.
Yeah, there were a few boys like Choppy Pickett and the like that didn't mind a bit of contact, did they?
Oh, gee whiz.
Had the antennas up when Choppy was around, that's for sure.
Keep alert, no doubt about that. What did you think when this firstly came out? I would say we all know AFL trying to protect themselves against litigation and the like. Did you see it as that, or is this a good thing? What are you thinking?
Well, I think when the AFL comes out, a lot of their new rules, no one really knows how a lot of them are going to play out, do we?
True.
A lot of people have opinions. We are very interested in it, and then it's often different to what we think it's going to be. And the AFL don't know either when they come up with a lot of these rule changes. They're never sure. So it'll be really interesting to follow. And I understand where they're coming from. I think everyone understands in the game where they're coming from. Yep. So I get it. From Clubland, I think some clubs will have not a big issue with it, and I think other clubs are going to hate it.
Right.
And I think some of the coaches especially will be really challenged by it. I think it's another layer within, your playing training is a complex, it's a complex thing that we do at Clubland, and this adds another layer of complexity, time, energy. I mean, who is actually going to police it? What happens if people don't abide by the rules? It's very prescriptive. The 6 different areas are very prescriptive. So, look, I think it's going to be another challenge for Clubland. And the way that I look at it, whenever these things come in, I say, well, what's the opportunity, and then what are the challenges involved? And I think, so let's look at, the opportunity to start with might be there'll be a lot more touch-type games, so with no contact. So a lot of decision-making in close, but not actually tackling, which means that there's going to be a lot of fast ball movement. So it's going to promote offence, because any time you take contact out of the training session, then offence just goes ballistic. There's probably an opportunity to train some more fundamentals of the game. A lot of clubs have gone down game-based training, a lot of 18v18. So potentially there's an opportunity for some clubs to go back and do a bit more like literally genuine fundamentals of the game, kicking, handballing, ground balls, whatever you feel the fundamentals of the game are. And then possibly some clubs might do a little bit more pure conditioning, because, again, I remember my last year at Carlton, we were almost 90% of the pre-season we did our conditioning within ball work. When I started at Port Adelaide, we would have done 70% of our total pre-season load would have been conditioning, and 30% would have been ball work. So it's completely shifted. And not one is right or wrong. Yeah. It's just different, isn't it? So then what are the challenges? And I think that's probably the really interesting area for me. And I see it being decision-making in the phone booth for players could potentially be compromised, because if you can't actually tackle, you're going to make a different decision, right? Like if a guy's coming at you and you're going to get touched versus you're actually going to have to absorb contact, then that is a different decision, and a different part of your brain that is going to be activated. So that's probably the first thing, is decision-making in close. I reckon the second one is the way to prevent injury is to expose yourself to the stress that you're going to be under. And in this sense, it's exposing yourself to ground balls, lots of pressure, tackling, and being able to protect your head when bodies are coming at you. And that is a skill, like anything else in the game is a skill. And I reckon there was a great example in the game this year Darcy Moore in round 9 got concussion. Now, he has played so much football, but he would have done very minimal game-based training going into that because of the number of injuries he's had and the amount of time he would have missed doing contact-based training because he just had, too many interruptions. He goes into that game and he does something that I think most people would say that's not a normal action for him to do. And he put himself in harm's way when he got his concussion. So I think the players are unbelievably good at protecting each other in training. And whilst I think you can go really, really hard in training, but they're very, very good at just turning the body or just turning the head or just protecting the guy with their knee. So I think it's really important that they actually train train that aspect of the game. And it's very hard to get a lot of repetition in the game because, in a contact situation in 18v18, you might only get 2 or 3 or 4 ground balls in a game under pressure. So very hard to train it. So that's potential. And I think the third thing is preventing other injuries from happening. So landing and marking, taking, having a mark and bracing for contact is really important. So if you mark under pressure, that is a very different skill to just marking and knowing that you don't have any physical pressure that's going to be exerted on you. So ankles, knees and the like, potentially you're not getting enough repetition of training that skill.
Well, and I agree with everything you said, Russ. With Don Pike, we used to do the programming leading into training. So we used to have a metric. So 5 was match sim down to 0, which was sort of walking on the shed floor, low stuff. So we were doing this 2016, 2017 in terms of, and then Matty Hass, which was the equivalent of what Russ is at what he's done, we would work out what we needed to prioritise in terms of high speed, what we'd need from a contact point of view. But I agree with you, Russ. Like, I could argue easily that it's going to be worse off for some of these guys. Like, I remember putting a workshop together around ground balls because we had some concussions. Tom Lynch, Brodie Smith, Rory Laird. They'd never been taught how to do a ground ball properly. So now we can't expose these guys at not full tilt, but in a match simulation where they've got to protect themselves. So I could easily argue against that it could be worse by not training it at the level.
Well, I think it's a really solid argument, and that's what the experiment is going to show up, isn't it?
But do they have the evidence, though, Russ? Like, do the AFL actually have evidence from clubs? You're talking about policing it, but do they have evidence around that there's concussions in training or injuries or some of that stuff?
Yeah, it's a great question. Laura Kane was on Channel 7 yesterday, and they didn't go through that, but I think it's a fascinating question. I know myself being a clubland for a long period of time, they're very rare. You don't get many concussions over a pre-season. Now, you could argue that we don't want one concussion. But, it's a challenging game, and I think that, if you're going to prepare them for what they've got to face in an AFL game, then there is an element of risk in your training. It's like, if there's an element of risk in getting them to sprint. They might do their hamstring whilst trying to prevent the hamstring in the game. You have to have a few hamstrings in training or you're not pushing the group hard enough. So, I think it'll be really interesting. But I would, look, exact numbers, I would never have seen more than 2 concussions in a pre-season.
Yeah, wow. I agree. I'm the same, Russ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the numbers, it's really interesting, isn't it? The numbers are low. They certainly wouldn't have a lot of longitudinal data over many, many, many years. But it's a fascinating question, and I think that's one of the questions, that the clubs will be coming back. That, look, it's going to be in. We understand why. Everyone in the game wants less in the game, but I think in many ways, like you said, potentially we need to actually train the skill even more than what we do under pressure.
I agree.
Because we do a lot of game-based training, but do we do enough actually breaking the skill down in isolation and doing high pressure repetition with your head, near the ground whilst people are coming at you?
Well, we don't, Russ, because we see it in the match review panel that the player that actually steps past the ball and protects himself versus a player that leads with his head gets concussed. The player who puts his body in the right position gets weeks for it.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it? When you look at, and I talked about it before around building any skill, the only way to build any skill, and the skill of knowing where you are in space and where bodies are around you, is by doing it a lot.
Yep.
Just like any habit or skill you want to develop in your life, the same principle applies. So it'll be interesting. And doing it, and there's an element of teaching these guys to do it at lower speeds.
Yeah.
We get that. But ultimately, you need to get the transfer to high speeds. That's where the real learning happens.
Speaking with Andrew Russell, high performance expert, Nick Revold actually said he's a bit concerned it will change the on-field product or hurt it because of the issues you just spoke about just then. Is that something that we'd see over time, or we would see that pretty quickly? Because I'm wondering just how much effect it would have.
I think it's probably something you'll see over time. It's amazing in the game of AFL football, but any athlete, there's a lag effect to anything that you do. So if you're doing things really, really well, often it won't come out in your game, for a period of time. So Carlton's a great example now. Carlton were doing some really good things, all right, but it wasn't coming out in their game. And then they made a few changes, the most obvious one for everyone to see, but it wasn't like they dramatically changed everything they did, but they did make some changes, and it seemed to resonate with the players, and they've completely gelled. But it's not like they completely changed the way they train from one week to the next, and all of a sudden they're a good football team. That's not how performance works. So there's a lag period of doing things well, and there's also a lag period of not doing things well. So clubs that have been really, really successful and they get bad habits that come into their program, they'll still be able to play good footy for the next season or two after they've been in a good space based on just some habits that are just ingrained in them.
Mm.
But then over time, and it might show out over a period of 12 months or 18 months or 2 years where those bad habits that have crept in your organisation. So I doubt whether we'll see it. I think it's going to take a few years at least to be able to determine, and that's going to be the challenge, isn't it, for everyone? Because people are going to be very reactive. Because we live in that space. We live in a very reactive world in AFL football.
No, too true. I really appreciate your views on this, Andrew. Great stuff, mate, and hopefully speak again soon.
Good stuff, guys.
Excellent stuff.
Thanks, Russ.
High performance expert Andrew Russell, as I said, I think he's involved in like 5 flags, 4 at Hawthorn, 1 at Port. He's one of the best in this field and always makes a lot of sense, which is great.
Yeah. And he's thanks to Pals. When you're after the special drop, trust your Pals to have it at Parafield Airport Liquor, the home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your Pals. It's 13 minutes to 6. We're going to take more of your calls next. Might want to have you say on what we just discussed there for the last 10, or Showdown, or the Socceroos, the World Cup. There's plenty happening. Maybe Ben Stokes' retirement, maybe the Aussie women's cricketers. There's all sorts going on in the world at the moment. 8223 0000. We are more than welcome for your calls for Ocean Bar and Kitchen at Henley Beach. A $100 voucher up for grabs, and they have weeknight specials that are absolutely brilliant. Bottomless pasta on Wednesdays and schnitzel specials on Thursdays. So get involved and get into this $100 Ocean Bar and Kitchen voucher for your calls tonight. Let's check your roads.
At Croydon, a nasty crash to look out for. Huge delays too. It's on the north-south motorway near the Hawker Street overpass. Delays in all directions. Avoid that area if you can tonight. Darlington, a crash there too. The Southern Expressway near Seacombe Road overpass causing delays. Another crash at Plimpton getting sorted out. Cross Road near the railway crossing. Camera, Sturton Road, Edinburgh. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial event is on now. Enjoy exceptional value on all new and demonstrator Lexus models in stock. Ends June 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
End of financial year sales can be a bit of a puzzle, so make the smart move with Optus and save $600 on the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra with a device payment plan plus your chosen SIM plan costs. Shop more smart deals on phones, internet and more, all powered by the super-fast Optus network. Ends July 5. Discounted Galaxy S26 Ultra 256GB model is $1,599. Network speeds may vary. Check website for coverage. Terms apply.
At my age, preparation is just part of life. To prepare for viruses like influenza, COVID and RSV, I get vaccinated regularly. Viruses are always changing. That's why vaccination really matters to protect yourself against serious disease and hospitalisation. And the risks go up when you turn 65. Vaccination is the best preparation. Speak to your health professional and book your vaccinations today. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
I was on the streets for 4 years. You would be surprised on what you take for granted. Just as something as simple as a hot cup of coffee, even a clean pair of socks.
Step up to end homelessness by supporting Hutt Street Centre's Walk a Mile in My Boots. Register or donate today. walkamile.org.au.
I don't know what I'd do without that help.
There's a difference between being served and being helped. Often at a big hardware franchise, you're just being served. At Mowers Plus Salisbury, we're here to help. We ask the right questions. Then we can help you pick what works from a huge range of brands and options. Decades of know-how and a workshop that keeps everything you own running like new. No gimmicks, no nonsense. Just genuine service from people who care. Google Mowers Plus Salisbury and trust your garden to us.
Hey, it's Hayley and Lauren. You know Adelaide, but do you really know us? Welcome to Adelaide Unfiltered. It's our chaotic little sister. It's the stuff that doesn't normally make it online or onto the TV show. The stories we probably shouldn't share. We have a whole lot of laughs. It's raw, it's ridiculous, and yeah, it's completely unscripted. So if you love Adelaide, you're going to fall head over heels for this. Adelaide Unfiltered on the 5AA Player app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ahead of winter with comfy credits from Origin. Move with Origin and you could get up to $200 in bill credits. That's $100 for natural gas and $100 for electricity, keeping you comfy and in control this winter. That's all kinds of useful. Search Origin today. New and moving residential customers only. Sign up by 30th of June and stay until 30th of June. Bill credit includes GST. T's and C's and eligibility apply.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
A few weeks ago, I joined in a tackle drill at training and experienced some starry vision after a couple of minor bumps. And then shortly after that, I had another incident involving mild contact and more starry vision.
That's Chelsea Randall at 8 minutes to 6, who today has announced her retirement after playing all seasons of football with the Adelaide Crows, 8 years as captain and a 3-time premiership player, one of the most courageous AFLW players to play the game over the years, and has hung them up. So congratulations on the career, and it'll be sad to see her gone. But yes, only about 4 weeks away from the start of the AFLW season, and she's decided to hang up the boots.
Let's just hope that the brain health from here is okay, because that's the main thing. And you've got a long life ahead of you. So great player
now
too,
mum
Chelsea
now
Randall.
too.
Correct. So let's go to Marion. G'day, Sam.
Yeah, good day, boys. I find it very convenient, and I don't like to bash someone if he's not in the room, but you remember when we won the showdown in 2024, Timmy and Scotty, when unfortunately Rankin got knocked out.
Right. Yep.
Your colleague supposedly, well, not supposedly, but he wasn't there after that showdown win. Your colleague, Big Stephen, wasn't there. He was conveniently annual leaving then, and now 2 years later, the same thing happens. But he loves stirring the pot and talking about how good the Crows are. But the last two showdowns, 2 years apart, he's conveniently gone on annual leave, Timmy. Now, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but doesn't sound very, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, well, you reckon it's premeditated, Sam?
Conspiracy. I'll have a word to HR, see what's going on. I'll have a look, because as soon as the fixture comes out, I'll check with HR and see when he's booked his holiday.
When did he put it in?
Yeah, correct. He might be looking. Oh, that's the away showdown, right? Annual leave.
I'll go big the week before.
I'll go big the week before. Stir them all up and then run out of town. Love it. Let's go to Mark. G'day, mate.
G'day, guys. First of all, I'd say that Stephen Rowe is Port's best weapon when it comes to showdown. So in terms of what he's got to say, but my goodness, doesn't that just fire up the Port boys when they hear what he's got to say? He needs to zip it. Now, let's have a look at the showdown. Kari outplanned, outthought, outcoached Matthew Nicks. I would have thought with fourth position on the ladder and a game clear in that position would have been a fair bit to play for, would have been a very good reason to turn up with pressure. However, there's always the opposition who have planned well and scouted on your team. And when it comes to match day, you need to be agile in the coaching box. And I wonder what it would have looked like for Josh Carr if after half-time you saw the following. You saw Michaelini on Georgiades. You saw Curtin in defence on Vicentini, who was instructed to bring the ball to ground so Port small forwards could work. If you saw Thilthorpe in the middle with McAndrew to stop Horne-Francis running out of the centre square forward, if you had Keys on Zach Butters to say he doesn't get a kick and he earns every kick if he does get one, make him earn it under pressure. If you had Josh Worrell, he's the one, put him forward. He's a marking machine if ever there's one. You've moved Thilthorpe out of the forward line, who's giving you nothing. He's in the centre square. You put Taylor Walker on the wing and you push Cook into the forward line. You just imagine that look. If that turned up at half-time where you've just moved all the magnets, you've addressed your players in the change room in terms of what they have to do, which is pressure, pressure, pressure. And here's the real kicker from someone who sits in the lounge room watching football. How would it be if you had a game plan that says, for the first 2 quarters, you're going to stand behind your opponent, and every time they go to the ball, they're under immense pressure, tackled and scragged, and you give them 2 quarters to think about that, and after half-time, you instruct your players to stand in front of your opposition, and they lead to the ball, and you make them chase your jumpers. Psychologically, that has an effect. But you've got to have the ability and the agility to think through how you can give your opposition coach on match day something more to think about than just nothing more to think about.
Thanks, Mark. There was a lot in that, wasn't there? Some of those moves at half-time were interesting matchups. I've got to say, I was surprised at the Borlase-Georgiades matchup. I thought it might have been somebody maybe like Michaelini or a Keane or somebody, because he's electric off of the mark.
Quick,
very quick off the mark, even though I thought Borlase played pretty well. It's food for thought there.
Yes, I mean, it's speed of ball as well, you know, how they kick the ball inside forward 50. Not sure Taylor Walker suited to a wing. For mine, as I said, it was a Dan Curtin into the midfield to try and arrest some of the momentum and get a bigger body. Riley Thilthorpe needs to play in the ruck, and not as a midfielder.
I think Jordan Sweet's performance sometimes gets overlooked because of the performance of Butters and Horne-Francis. I thought he was excellent.
Oh, amazing. Well, he was in the votes.
Yeah, correct, he was. Let's go to Blair. G'day, David.
Not too bad, thanks. I'll just ring up to talk about Sid Draper.
Yep.
So he picked forward a couple of years ago in the draft.
Yes.
And he's had injury problems, as we know. But the last 3 games he played in the SANFL, particularly last week, he had 20 kicks and kicked a goal. Well, why isn't he given possibly a chance again? He's also played a few last year, I think, 7 times on the bench, I think. Came on and kicked a goal and played fairly well. Why isn't he giving a chance?
Yeah, well, I think it's more around his conditioning more than anything to make sure that he doesn't break down again, because he hasn't had any continuity over pre-season and since he's come back from the sample. I watched the game live. I actually thought he looked really good on the weekend in terms of he had his speed and his agility and his power back. The challenge with that is that the match committee has to be confident enough that he can play big minutes through the midfield, because I don't think it's a bit like Luke Pedler. Don't bring him in and play him at a half forward. If you're going to pick him, bring him into that midfield group and say, you've got the next 3 or 4 weeks. They've got a reasonable draw. Come in and have 3 weeks and play with Dawson, play with, Rankin, and see what you can add to that group and have a look at it. Because they need to find out before September, don't they? Because they know what they've got with the other guys, with Peatling and Berry and what that mix looks like.
Yeah.
But they've got to pick him to play him as a genuine midfielder if they're going to pick him, not around the periphery.
He had 25 disposals, kicked a goal, and had 8 clearances. So he was. I thought.
No, he was good.
That's his best of the year. Yeah, best of the year.
Yeah, I thought it was his best for the year too. So
he covered the ground
signs,
well,
David,
and he was
good
sharp.
Signs.
Yep.
Lovely work. All right, more of your calls coming up after 6 o'clock. The news very shortly, and then we have to talk about an amazing team of ours here in Adelaide that is sort of flying under the radar a bit because of how well they've been going, and they've had the week off. The Adelaide Thunderbirds are in a a grand final this weekend. They play the Melbourne Vixens. Annoyingly not here in Adelaide. It is over in Melbourne. It is a joke, Campo. I agree with that. But Georgie Hodges is going to lead the way, and she joins us next on the 5AA Sports Show.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 11 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. Police are urging motorists to drive to the conditions. There were multiple crashes on the north-south motorway this morning. 5 vehicles were involved in a smash at Globe Derby Park. A short distance away at Dry Creek, a larger crash involved 13 vehicles. The opposition says it's open to supporting stronger penalties for tech giants that breach the social media ban for under 16s. The federal government has introduced legislation to increase the fines for organisations that defy the laws to $99 million. The bill also gives the eSafety Commissioner greater powers to compel information from big tech companies. Nationals MP David Littleproud says any new penalties need to be enforced.
Let's be honest, these tech companies already have the technology to be able to block these under 16-year-olds, but they don't want to do it because their advertising dollar predominantly comes for those under 18. So I think it's important that we take them on and have the courage to use these penalties.
A senior Liberal admits voters are disillusioned with the party and a rebrand is needed to win people back. More from Michael Packey in Canberra.
2 new opinion polls show Labor has regained top spot over One Nation, even though it's handed down an unpopular budget. But all eyes are on the Coalition, which has seen its primary vote hit an historic low as it struggles to land any punches against the government. Liberal MP Melissa McIntosh has told Sky News something's got to give.
It's time for the Liberal Party to rebrand. Some people think that we're stuck in the past.
It was an unwelcome distraction for opposition leader Angus Taylor as the Prime Minister seized on the comments during question time.
She went on to say we need to get some experts in.
Voters aren't exactly happy with Anthony Albanese either, but he still preferred Prime Minister over Pauline Hanson and Mr Taylor.
A Russian couple accused of spying on Australian defence systems have had their charges upgraded in a Brisbane court. Georgia Kondek has the story.
The couple were arrested in 2024 following allegations they were accessing Australian defence systems and sending information back to the Kremlin. The woman had been working for the Australian Army and held security clearance. Police allege she travelled to Russia and instructed her husband to log into her work account and send material to a private email. The pair were initially charged with preparing for an espionage offence, which carries a maximum penalty of 15 years imprisonment. But the charge was dropped and replaced with a charge of conspiracy to commit espionage, and if found guilty, they could face between 25 years and life behind bars.
Michael is officially the highest-grossing biopic of all time. The Michael Jackson story has made $977 million at the worldwide box office, surpassing Oppenheimer. Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Crow Mitch Hinge is on the injury list again. He suffered a hamstring strain in the Sandful showdown. Meantime, Adelaide is keen to bounce back after being steamrolled by Port on Saturday night. Crow Josh Worrell telling the 5AA Sports Show their opponents dominated.
Credit to Port, they brought the pressure and brought the heat, and then they had a lot of forward half footy and were just able to pull on some quick goals. Yeah, kind of put us on the back foot, and then, we weren't able to wrestle back momentum at really any stage of the game.
Next up for Adelaide is the Eagles in the West on Friday night. Well, 4 Australians will be in action on the opening day at Wimbledon. Craig Gabriel is there.
Alexander Vukic will be the first Australian on court for this year's Wimbledon. The Sydney sider has a difficult match as he plays young American Jensen Brooksby. Adam Walton and Rinky Hijikata play towards the end of day one. Walton takes on promising Croat Dino Prismic, and Hijikata, who made the quarters at Queen's Club, will face Dutchman Jesper de Jong. Also later in the day will be Darek Asadkina. She faces the British wildcard Mimi Zhu, and Dasha needs a win.
And Canada has defeated South Africa 1-0 to advance to the World Cup round of 16 for the first time in its history. They'll play the winner of the Netherlands-Morocco game in Houston this weekend. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Those wet roads are causing us a real dog's breakfast, even though it's dinner time tonight. Got a major crash at Croydon to look out for. The north-south motorway into the Hawke Street overpass. Big delays there. Carvey motorcycle crash at Elizabeth Park, Yorktown Road near Tolmer Road. Another collision at Seaford Rise, Robinson Road near Griffiths Drive. Camera, Mawson Road Meadows. Reduce the duration of your cold this winter. Armour yourself with Bioceuticals Armour Force Daily Protect. Available at Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. Always follow the directions for use. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 11 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. Wednesday, showers 17. Thursday, showers 14. Right now, it is 14 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Brenton Radless.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
With the news that matters to you.
The government insists it's a win for the state's economy.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
Brazen daylight firebombing attack at the Torrensville supermarket.
Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
Antique spoons, envelope glue, moss, sea slugs. Men would rather talk about almost anything other than their prostate. That's why Men's Fruit Chocks is donating $1 from every blue pack sold to the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia. Buy the pack, have the chat.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Now, Timmy, as Aussies, we love the ocean, the sound of crashing waves, the sight of storms over the water, which we'll probably see tonight. That's what life's all about.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Ocean Bar and Kitchen, they're all about it. I'll tell you what, the food there is just magnificent. If you want to go there just for a drink, you can do that as well. And the views of Hentley Beach both ways is just magnificent. Now, you can enjoy the sights, the sounds and feel of the ocean, plus taste a mouth-watering menu. They've got pasta, seafood, a huge range of cocktails and wines. It's exceptional.
Yeah, and throughout winter, they have a shared 3-course weekday lunch offer with dips, calamari and a choice of pasta like homemade gnocchi finished off with an espresso. Jeez,
Yummy,
that
yummy.
sound nice. And for dinner, there's bottomless pasta Wednesdays and schnitzel special Thursdays.
Oh, how good. And then a bit of live music on the Fridays. It's a perfect destination for your next lunch, dinner, after work drink or function. Now, on that, they can do weddings, engagements, christenings and birthdays. They cater for all of them. And just imagine the views. Ocean Bar and Kitchen, it's located at the top of the Henley Surf Life Saving Club. Enjoy Ocean Bar and Kitchen from 11 a.m. till late.
Sick of feeling fat because of the bloated belly, gas and indigestion you get after every meal? Introducing Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic. Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic relieves bloating and indigestion. It contains 2 billion CFU of gut health probiotics combined with sweet orange, peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve flatulence. If you're fed up with bloating, gas and indigestion, try Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic today from leading pharmacies and health stores.
Today we have Darcy and Daniel from Inspire Care SA. They're a proud NDIS provider with a refreshingly different approach to NDIS support.
Yeah, it's about matching the right staff member with the client, so then both people have the fluid friendship and get to grow and get that rapport going. And then the easy bit is sending someone to a house. The reward comes from knowing that who you're sending is going to have an immediate impact on that individual's life.
If you want NDIS support with purpose, get in touch with Inspire Care SA.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
It's 9 minutes after 6, our Monday footy review. We've got plenty of time for your calls still, 8223 0000. And we've got tickets as well to 5AA's Ultimate Friday Knockoffs. The Beer and Barbecue Fest is coming up very soon, 10th of July. It's a Friday night. We'd love to get tickets in your hands for you and a mate for our VIP area. We'll give you some beers and some amazingly delicious barbecue food there as well in our VIP space, all thanks to the Adelaide Beer and Barbecue Festival. It's back now at the Drive in the city, beerbarbecuefest.com.au. Call in 8223 0055 if you'd like to get in the VIP space.
Well, it is grand final week in the Suncorp Super Netball competition. Our Thunderbirds are once again in there with a chance to win 3 out of 4 championships. We got one of the
Dynasty.
Yes, it is. It is, and we're going to speak to one of their champions at the moment. Georgie Horges, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
How's the nerves as we build up to Saturday?
They've been all right so far, but I think the more you talk about it, the more butterflies in the tummy. But no, it's a very exciting week.
It is indeed. I always found that when you did what you did and win that semi-final, then you go into the grand final, you've got to wait for your opponent. I always found I was okay until I knew who the opponent was, and then it started to kick in. Do you feel that way? Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly how I felt. I was pretty relaxed last week, but then, watching the game on the weekend and seeing the Vixens win, I think that it sunk in that we're playing in the grand final. But no, it's very exciting.
Now, do you keep the same approach with everything you've been doing against the Vixens? Because we're 2-1 up in 3 games that we've played. Do you keep that same approach?
Yeah, I think so. But I think there'll be a few things that will change up and some things that maybe they did really well on the weekend that we'll have to adjust to.
Okay.
But no, we have some very smart coaches that will really help us this week with our analysis and, we'll hopefully stick to the game plan, which will help us win.
And what did the week off look like, Georgie? Did you obviously train together and then did you get together and watch the game, or did you go your separate ways?
Yeah, so it was a bit of a lighter week on the training track, which is nice. And then we had a practice game on Saturday morning. And then, we did watch the game together. We went to the showdown. So we were all there watching the footy and then watching that netball at the same time. But no, it was a nice and relaxing week. And then we'll get stuck into it this week with some more solider training sessions.
Well, you've been arguably the most consistent team over the last 4 years, as Timmy said, 3 out of 4. What's been the key to that?
Yeah, I guess we've built our team over the years. You know, when I first came into the team 7 years ago, we were losing games by 20-ish goals. So we have built a lot over those years, and I think the culture at the club is amazing. And I think, obviously, Tanya's recruited really well. So we have a good mix of SA girls and also international players. And, we have a really good, strong connection on and off the court, which helps.
Yeah, and that was my next question, Georgie. Well done for bringing it in. I wrote down here, it looks like you've got incredible chemistry. How much work does that go into? Obviously, you get players from interstate and sometimes international. What sort of work goes in behind the scenes to make sure that chemistry is really strong?
Yeah, it is really important, especially when you don't have a big pre-season together. Like, all the international players are all over the world playing netball. So I think it's just about the culture, and we have lots of culture sessions throughout the year that are really important for us. But I think it's that buy-in and making the effort to get to know everyone off the court as well. I think that's huge when it comes to game day.
Georgie, I've noticed with your goal shooters, you've had Eleanor Cardwell in the first flag, you had Romelda Aitken-George in the second flag, and you had to play completely different with those two because they were completely different shooters as well. Now you've got one, Elmarie Vandenberg, who I think might even be the best one of the 3. I just love the way she goes about her work, but they are 3 slightly different tactics of the way you feed in. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely. The first year we shot so many 2-pointers. We didn't have that height under the ring. And the second year we had Romelda, who didn't shoot any 2s, and we could bomb it in from anywhere. And I think Elmarie's such a nice mix. She can shoot from long, she can move, and she can hold. So she's a really good target, and absolutely love feeding her.
Yeah, well, and you do it very well, let me tell you. You'd get a job at the zoo, you feed that well. You're amazing. You just keep that good work up. Oh, that first time you played the Vixens in Melbourne, how did they get us on that one, and did we learn something from that game?
Yeah, we definitely did. I think it was obviously the start of the season, and that was our first loss. So we did learn a lot from that, and obviously it didn't feel nice to lose, so it made us that little bit hungrier. But I think we just have connected a lot as a team. You know, we made errors in that game that we don't make now, and they were just connection errors that we've learned and built over the year. So we have come a long way, but hopefully we can play even better than we have the last few times against the Vixens.
It's good to be able to call on experience, and you probably sometimes get more nervous because you know what's coming. But I reckon grand finals, they're the highest intensity games you'll play. It does help to have experience, and they certainly don't lack that in their team either, because they're a championship team last year.
Yeah, definitely. They've got so much experience. They've got players that have played in comm games, for Diamonds. But I think, we also have a lot of experience as well. And lucky our new girls that haven't played a grand final, they have played for their countries. So we know there'll be nerves everywhere, but I think it's just about those honest conversations before the game and just that belief in us. Nerves are so normal.
Keep persisting.
Yeah, no, good point, Georgie. I mean, you co-cap, you recently played your 100th game in the Super League netball. How much has your leadership role changed in the way that you approach the matches now you're an experienced player?
Yeah, I think obviously a lot. I've come a long way. I used to not talk at all when I first came in the team. I was pretty quiet, but I've come a long way. And I think it's just about getting around those young girls and, like I said, just speaking about the nerves because they're so normal. And, it's really exciting. But I think the experience that we have in our team is obviously really helpful as well.
And the game on the weekend, is there one particular area of the game that you think might decide the winner?
Oh, I think we need to shut their attacking end down. I think they obviously don't make heaps of errors and we need to convert every ball that we get. So I think it's a full 7 defenders, 7 attackers. And I think, any ball that we get in defence, we need to convert and hopefully that'll get us over the line.
Persist, Georgie. You will outlast them, mate. All the best for the weekend. It'll be sensational and we look forward to bringing it back home where it belongs.
Let us complain about playing it in Melbourne.
Yeah, we'll do that bit for you. All right? Good luck.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Georgie Horges, yes, co-captain of the Adelaide Thunderbirds, and a big night Saturday night against the Vixens in Melbourne. It should be here, but that's the way the sponsorship went.
It's amazing effort. If they win this.
Yeah, it would be, like you said, a dynasty if they can get 3 out of 4. That's an amazing, and they're a great team. So I think they've been the best team all year. They just got
Has the coach got enough credit? Tanya?
In this room, yes. Tanya gets a lot of credit and very good at what she does and so relaxed. Not relaxed, but she's so cool in the moments. That's what
she
I
looks
like.
Good. Yeah, even when she's interviewed.
They were challenged against the Vixens first quarter. They were down by a couple. There was no panic. It was like, right, we're going to reset, do this, then moved a few pieces.
How
amazing. Yeah. Go and get them, girls. Yep. Love it. Let's go to your phone calls. Yeah. Alberton. Sayo, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm happy as Larry, I am.
I knew you would be. I thought you were going to change your name by default to Larry because you're that happy.
I changed my name to Jennifer.
Nice one. Well, you'll be laughing then. Say, keep the smile.
Wasn't that a brilliant game, though?
Yeah, it was. I think right from the beginning, we were talking about it earlier. There seemed to be a lot more want and desire in Port
Adelaide.
Yeah,
there was Port Adelaide in there, and Josh Lai is very underrated.
We're liking him.
He's just brilliant.
Very much
Chrissy,
so.
He's got a seat at Timmy's table.
He definitely has.
And Chrissy had the best saying: "The crow's got the bird flu."
Oh,
on Saturday night. And I think Stephen Rose got it too.
Well, he's got a week off anday, so
I give him heaps. But I just thought it was an absolutely brilliant game. That's the way I imagine Josh and the coaches. It just clicked.
How'd you go? Good fun banter with any Crow supporters you got on Saturday night? Because there's always good rivalry there.
We're sitting in the cheer squad. I'm safe. So, but no, I ran into a couple of friends and wished them well, and they were like, "We just weren't good enough. You guys were brilliant." So it was really, really good.
That's what they bring, don't they? The first one we fell short by a point, and this one we got the win. So that's how they roll, and they always never cease to surprise. It just keeps delivering. I reckon the old showdown. Never know what you're going to get next. Adriano, g'day, mate.
G'day, Tim. How are you?
Good.
Just a couple of things. Stephen, if you're listening, Stephen, never put a red rag in front of a ball because it'll come back to bite you in the bum with the amount of garbage you put out on the weekend. But the other reason I rang, Tim, I'm not sure if you saw it after the game, as Josh was walking off, he had the shield, the variety shield that we, and he gave it to the cheer squad, and I was not far from there, and it was just they took some photos of the cheer squad holding up the shield, but not only that, then the players sat in front of the crew, as all the cheer squad and all the supporters, and I think that was a very poignant moment for the club, and the fact that, because of the whole thing of the history of the Invincibles Guernsey, but also the fact that it was just something that Josh did that was quite special, and I wanted to think, was just a shout out to Josh for doing it, because I thought it was just outstanding that he's always said that, the club is about the people, and, it's what Foss and everyone else went on about as well, so it's all about Port Adelaide.
Good call there, Adriano, and Josh thinks that way. It's not manufactured. It's genuine, and that's the way he does think. And it didn't surprise me at all. I saw some of the photos, and they were excellent, and I love the passion behind the goals from the supporters, loving every minute of that interaction.
Lovely call. Thank you, Adriano. It's 20 after 6.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. For the very latest in local footy, tune in to the 5AA Sandful Show each Monday from 6:30 p.m. Sandful's not just a game, it's a South Aussie ritual. The Host Plus Sandful League, a league of its own.
What if Sky City Adelaide called your name this Thursday? $500,000 has already been given away across Sky City's Thursday promotions. And this week, the Thursday cash jackpot continues with $95,000 to be won. Join Sky City Rewards and be at Sky City this Thursday at 8 p.m. Your name could be called, but you have to be there to win. Sky City, we're here for it. T's and C's at skycity.com.au/jackpot. South Australia licence T25/2274. New South Wales licence NTP/15347. What are you prepared to lose today? Set a limit. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Mid-year sales are now on at District Outlet Centre. Shop even bigger savings on the brands you love all in one place. Home to a mix of leading local and international brands at affordable prices, District is your go-to shopping destination. Shop the sales at New Balance, Kathmandu, Hype, Tarakash, Platypus, House Superstore Outlet and Timberland, plus an extensive range of food and beverage options. District Outlet Centre's mid-year sales now on. See districtoutlet.com.au for more. Main North Road, Parafield.
Antique spoons, envelope glue, moss, musical theatre, sea slugs. Men would rather talk about almost anything other than their prostate. That's why Men's is donating $1 from every blue pack of fruit chocs sold to the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia. It's a disease that affects 1 in 5 Australian men. So talk about whatever you want. Just make sure one of those conversations is about your prostate health. It could save your life. Look for limited edition blue pack fruit chocs today. Buy the pack, have the chat.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
Hey, I'm James, Claims Manager at Allianz. This isn't always the call you want to make, but when you do, you'll reach our team who know exactly what to do next. It's why we're trusted by over 4.5 million Aussies.
Allianz.
Right now, you're one step closer to driving away in Lexus luxury. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event is on now. Receive exceptional value on all new and demonstrator models in stock, including the exhilarating NX and RX plug-in hybrid. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event ends June 30. LVD 2009.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
I think that this is a great opportunity for me. I enjoy playing on the grass. I think my game suits it. I think I can be quite dangerous.
That's Alex de Minaur ahead of Wimbledon starting tonight. It's sort of also flown a bit under the radar, the news about Wimbledon beginning. Serena Williams is a wild card. kicks off her campaign tomorrow against Aussie Maya Joint, the young 20-year-old, so that'll be one to watch.
She did play elsewhere, didn't she, recently? Was it Queens or something?
Yes, just before Wimbledon. Right. Yep, so got a little bit of action on the lawn. So tonight, first action, we get to see Novak Djokovic and Yannick Sinner in action, Arina Sabalenka as well in the women's draw, and Mira Andreeva, the winner of the French Open. So lots of big names on court to start.
Oh, excellent. Glad, I love Wimbledon this time of year. As a kid growing up, I was in love with Bjorn Borg. Loved him, and the chance to sort of stay awake and watch Wimbledon on Sunday night was awesome.
It's prime time.
Especially, those battles with McEnroe, 2 5-setters against him. Geez, they were amazing games.
It's iconic, like the Open is for golf, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, because you get to play in that part of the world instead of America biased, like we've seen before. But
well, the Adelaide Football League, this young man, he calls a game every week, but he also keeps an eye on it for us. Div 1 results, Alex Coots. G'day, Cootsy.
Hey, guys. How are you?
All right, my friend. First game off the list was a close one, 10-pointer. Tea Tree Gully and Salisbury North.
Yeah, so this is the game I was at, actually. Tea Tree Gully, 8-12-60 to Salisbury North, 10-10-70. Last time they met, it was Salisbury North 10-10-70, but Tea Tree Gully 51. I reckon it was 7-15 or 7-9-51. But this time, Salisbury North only won by a bit less. Jade Wagley got best on ground. Air Hellabout kicked 4 goals, and Brody Latham took a huge specky for Tea Tree Gully.
Oh, nice.
Well, and the next one, Cootsy, was Ross Trevor versus Athelston in a real tight one.
Yeah, well, it was Athelston 7-18-60. Ross Trevor 9-10-64. Ross Trevor only by 4 points. Athelston's inaccurate kicking unfortunately cost them. Thomas McCormack kicked 4 goals. Jet Boxer kicked 3. And Luke Rander from Athelston only kicked 1 goal this week after having a few bags.
That was top versus fifth too, so Ross Trevor getting away with the points there. Another sad one for Payneham Norwood Union, St Peter's.
Yeah, this time a little bit closer for them. Unfortunately, they've had some big results lately, but it was PNU 9-6-60, St Peter's 16-11-107, St Peter's by 47. Tom Rundle, the fullback, pushing up in the forward line this week, kicking 3 goals and getting best on ground, while Fraser Greaves kicked the stag of the day with an absolute screamer.
Oh, wow. Fullback shouldn't be getting that far forward, Cootsy. Anyway, Port Districts and Golden Grove.
Well, I tell you, this one took a turn. It was in the third quarter. Port District, 7 goals for to Golden Grove, 0-0, and Port District ended up winning 12-13-85 to Golden Grove, 6-6-42, a massive 43-point win to Port District. It was a very even game going into it. Joey Haynes kicked 3 goals from halfback and snagged himself best on ground, while Jack Pullinger got a Mark of the Year contender.
There you go. And Glenunga Sacred Heart to finish off was a close one.
Yeah, well, this one there was an even amount of goals, but it was Glenunga 10-20-80 to Sacred Heart 10-8-68. Glenunga by 2 goals. Ethan Smith kicked 3 goals and got best on ground for his amazing last quarter performance. And Jordan West was a standout ruck for Glenunga.
There you go. Well, we always talk about the 5AA Div 7 results as well. Now, if we flip to that, there was a really close game in the Hackham-Brahma Lodge game.
Yeah, so it was Hackham 8-8-56 to Brahma Lodge 8-16-64. So an 8-point win to Brahma Lodge. Stephen Donald kicked 3 goals for Hackham, and for Brahma Lodge, Trent Payne kicked 4 to seal the deal.
Yeah, well, Brahma Lodge get a game on them now, and they jump to 4th, and Hackham are 5th in the 5AA Div 7. 8, Cootsy, well done, mate. We'll talk to you again next Monday.
Thank you. See you then.
Good man. Well done, Alex Coots, covering off all results for the Adelaide Footy League.
Before we go, with the 5AA Sample Show coming up next, Ocean Bar and Kitchen at Henley Beach. We have a $100 voucher to give away. Timmy G.
Yeah, Andrew spoke about the ARC early on and just how they've got to get this right. And please, it's getting very frustrating. And I was very frustrated on Saturday night with it. It was just that bouncing a metre over, you can make that decision very quickly.
Yeah.
Get it done. Thank you, Andrew.
That absolute bugger up did not get enough airtime tonight. We might have to continue that tomorrow.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, it's right.
That was
Let's
an
get some
absolute
placards
bundle.
made up
Let's
tonight.
do that. Let's keep the conversation going. That isn't too good. Hey, at Henley Beach, Ocean Bar and Kitchen just made weeknights amazing. Bottomless pasta Wednesdays, schnitzel specials on Thursdays, live music on Fridays. They do the lot. 29 after 6. We got the 5AA Sample Show with Matt Panos over in Melbourne tonight. He's going to join us next.